Just try one more arrow. All right. Now, one slightly different thing I want to try. See my pretty face? La 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 la.
Gorgeous, darling.
Yep.
Gorgeous.
Now, if I click this. Oh, look, pretty spell effect.
Oh.
Oh, look, pretty arrow effect.
Skewers you right in the head.
Right between the ears.
Yeah, so feel free to maximize me and see all the cool little effects that I've been working on. You have your real life DM. Hey, just a question. Is the meaningful game thing backwards for you? Or is that just for me? Like, do the logos look backwards?
I think it's okay.
It's good.
Yeah.
That's good. Okay,
Yeah.
just a weird mirroring thing. Anyway, sorry for the delay, but we are up and going. So welcome back to the Shattered Teeth. Oh my goodness, where did we pick up last time? In the Temple of Tharizdun. You found this giant wormhole, this purple worm. I don't know if you know about purple worms, but you found that. Nasty devil creature that constantly flew fireballs at you. And Rafe, are you still out and dying? What's happening with Rafe?
I'm up. I'm not doing great.
Okay.
Okay. Well, I'm half hit points. Not doing horrible, I guess.
Okay, so corpses of the Unmade, these weird, bald, fanatic guys. Actually, who's this? Who's the ape?
That was Udas.
Udas, that's
Yeah,
right.
you got changed.
Okay.
Yeah.
And there were a couple of chain devils as well. They've been removed though, but there's bodies here. But this guy sacrificed himself on this altar. And this chain here is kind of disappearing into a tunnel over here. And I will point out that the chain looks loose. It is not tight like a chain normally would be. It is quite tight. So, I don't think it's going to change now. Revengers, what would you like to do?
So we want to search these guys, huh? Or let Eris do that?
Yeah, we can
Yeah.
search.
Sure, I can do that.
Okay, make an investigation check.
Oh god, I am changing my dice. I know it doesn't work really well with this, but you know we're gonna do it anyways.
Are you rolling in D&D Beyond or?
Yeah.
420.
So I got pretty looking dice.
Yes. Well, the cultists who went down pretty easily. They've just got some simple items on. They're wearing chain mail and a shield, and they have a spear as well. So feel free to collect those if you like. You go to search this creature here, and the two ones wielding chains were quite effective. As you watch and kind of start searching the bodies, unfortunately, they start to kind of disintegrate into this type of goo on the ground.
Ew.
And before long, there's a big puddle of stuff here and a big puddle of stuff there. So bottom line is nothing on the cultists, and the creatures are slowly dissolving into muck.
I see.
Yeah. So I'm at half HP with most of my stuff pretty spent. What do you guys want to do? Are we just trying to go down this chain? What's our next step?
I mean, I feel like this is kind of an awkward place to take a wee bit of a nap.
Yeah, I agree.
I can heal some
Well-
people. I'm not very good at that though. But
No,
I
a short
can.
rest. A short rest would let me help, just for a battle shape, I guess. I won't be as strong as usual, but it will keep me ready to fight. So I think we could kind of take a breather before we move on. That'd be probably
Definitely need
a
to.
breather. Yeah, you need a lot too, don't you?
Now, I will point out that it's been a very long day. I don't think you've rested since you had Sister Abedi
Okay.
freeze dried, I guess.
But do we have anybody here who has like some type of support for resting?
My eyes.
Yeah.
Eyes. We don't have a tent, do we? Okay. Then do we want to just try here, or do you want to go back in the back where we came a little bit and find us like a safer spot, maybe?
I mean,
Uh,
there's some rooms and stuff over here that are just like in the area where we can still hear if things start moving, but we're out of the way enough where we don't die immediately.
Yeah, let's do that, and then let Tana go elsewhere.
I'm gonna push these bodies off this mantle and prestidigitate all the blood off.
Okay, prestidigitation is cast, and poof, gets magically cleaned.
Cool. I don't know if I did anything, but it makes me feel better about myself.
Well, if you remember last time, one of these cultists sacrificed himself on the altar. Rave kind of cleaned it off with his kind of forearm, so it's mostly clean, but your prestidigitation remains the remaining gunk of it.
We probably smell terrible.
Yeah.
Speak for yourself, and then I'll prestidigitate myself to smell beautiful,
Prest-
like flowers.
Whoops.
Presto.
slow button.
Presto works. All right. So what room do you want to go to, guys?
There's this
Over-
one.
That's fine. Just choose one. That's fine. Over there. Oh, that first one's fine.
It's big enough to fit us.
Here, is that what you're saying? Right?
Hello. Yes, I see a little wraith in there.
I am on the stairs. These are my stairs.
There your stairs. Okay. You guys, you gonna join us to rest?
comes as well. I'll say the ape's probably faded by now.
Yeah.
Yeah, I stopped concentration. Before we do our rest, though, I'm gonna spend 4 sorcery points to get a 4th level slot back.
Okay.
Yeah, I can do a short rest before we do the long rest, just to make sure we get it.
I'm just doing that in case something happens.
Yeah, same. Same. It's 18 is a little better.
Oh my god, you're almost dead. Okay, if we're taking a long rest, I'll give you some health so that you're not sleeping with all these broken bones. Ooh, these dice are pretty.
Much better.
Yeah. They look sparkly.
So now we try a long rest. Now that we're a little more prepared in case the long rest didn't happen, right?
Yeah, in case we get murdered. We're gonna
Not
die.
In that case, we don't need a rest anyway, so it'll be eternal rest.
The long rest, yeah.
Yeah.
The longest. All right, I guess watches. So get Kim, you take first watch. I guess I'll take first watch because Rafe would do that once you guys do your first rest in.
Okay, so let's say everybody except Rafe settles down, bones aching, not feeling too good, and it's still a little bit uneasy in this temple, despite this demonic devil presence left. Every so often you hear the chain over here just clinking a little bit. And that's pretty much all the sound you hear. As I've said before, it's very, very quiet in here, and it's so quiet it's unsettling. But every so often you hear a little click, 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 click of the chains, as if there's some type of movement somewhere attached to the chain. Make a perception check for me, Rafe.
Not the best roll.
Okay, maybe a little flabbergasted by the events and all this evilness and nastiness and quiet. Your perhaps thoughts are elsewhere, but you don't detect or see anything.
Then next rest. I guess Soren, you're the lead. You're not. You guys need a long rest pretty well. He was pretty beat up. You want to take the next one?
Sure.
It's all yours.
Okay.
I'll come
so,
up from my stairwell corner.
remove from the fetal position on the chair, on the stairs. And
Yep.
yeah, same with you. Make a perception check.
Oh boy. One day it'll go through. There we go.
You're bad as I am.
Yep.
Yeah. Once again, the things are, just a little bit off. And just the same thing. God awful deadly silence and the occasional clank of these chains. Other than that, your rest goes uneventfully.
Back to my corner.
All right. So who wants to go next, Eris or Udas?
I can go. I have a little bit more going for me than you does right now.
Okay, same deal.
Oh, okay. Well, you
Oh.
know, I'm just cursed today.
Man.
Wow.
Sheesh.
That's 2 1s.
Okay, select highlights on DM notes, mark as non-applicable, and move on. No, you guys don't get that piece of information, but that's okay. Or whatever was going to happen. Or, well, I don't know. You don't know. You don't know anything.
Yeah,
You're all,
it's good.
Absolutely nothing.
Yep, a whole lot of nothing going on. So, Eris, once again, maybe the silence and the the clanking of the chains is getting to you. And yes, absolutely the opposite of Mara. Mara would have been onto it. But the good news is, long rest activated.
Yay.
And our long
All right.
rest Ken Ryu.
As we're waking up, we're getting ready and stuff. Ready for walks around, just text on folks like he does sometimes. Just give them encouragement. Thanks a lot for thanks for helping out. Thanks for the cure yesterday. Just kind of one by one does his kind of inspiring leader thing, and you'll all get 11 temporary hit points
Nice.
Cool.
if you're inspired. If you're not, then
Oh, I am so inspired. You don't
Say-
even know.
if not, then screw you.
Fair.
Okay.
And
Morning comes. Still
Ken
the
Ryu's
silence.
taking his rest.
Oh yeah, I
What's that?
did it in D&D Beyond, so he'll be at full hit points. Just change it here. Yeah, so deathly silence, the occasional clanking of this chain, and once again, the chain's not taut; it's a little bit loose. And there is, remember, there was a crank shaft up here. It's not really shown on the map, but there was a crank that they were doing to presumably loosen the chain. Looking at kind of about here.
Yeah, hang on, I suppose AC is too high. That was my shield of faith. Okay, you guys. So we're going back out where you were. Is that where we're going?
Yeah,
Right there.
we're over
Sorry,
here.
my bad.
Yeah.
My
No,
bad.
we're all good.
Fixing my AC. All right, what's the plan? Gonna zip line down the chains that we said.
Yeah, I feel like that's probably. I mean, that's a possibility. I feel like if they were trying, did it look like they were trying to loosen it, or were they trying to tighten it?
As you arrived, one of the cultists was effectively sacrificed almost on the crank, and then the chain devils were turning it, and the chain was definitely getting looser. So they're trying to loosen it. There's a little bit of give in this chain, but it's definitely loose. You feel if you cranked it, it'd be pulled taut across here and it wouldn't actually touch the floor, but it's just draped on the floor.
Can you describe the chain for me again? Where it's going into the ground there? It's okay. I'm not sure I'm getting it.
Yep.
I think it's like a whole.
This
So,
hole
yep.
here.
So crankshaft here attached to the chain.
Yeah.
I guess is some chain kind of laying off here, Then the chain comes down here, and imagine there's a big hole in the ground here that the chain
Where?
is
Okay. I see it
the
now. Okay,
chain
cool.
is descending
Okay.
into. It's not quite as big as I indicated. It's maybe, more like about 10-foot radius, something like that. Oh my goodness, my art is terrible.
I got you.
And whether good or bad, descending it would be relatively easy because there's a chain there. I mean, the chain has some spikes on it, but it wouldn't be hard to descend given that there's a chain there.
Well, this is going to do any good because what we just saw yesterday. But I'll try a divine sense, just see what I can sense.
Okay.
Divine sense is like useless most of the time.
60 feet. No celestials, no fiends, and you do get a ping of undead though.
Weird.
Besides Soren.
No, no.
Okay.
Only Soren.
Okay. So basically, I'm never going to know if any undead's ever around us because I'm always going to get no Sorens there. Like blinding me, Soren. What's up with that?
So attractive. It's okay.
Oh.
That's awesome. All right. So the only thing I've got is to go down the chain. What else you guys got? Ideas?
I mean, I can go down the chain easily and first and kind of see what's down there.
You're also
I mean-
squishy, but go ahead.
Yeah, that sounds pretty good. If something goes wrong, just scream.
I will scream in your mind. How about that? And I'll use my telepathic speech on Eris.
Can everybody please make me an intelligence check?
Oh,
Otherwise,
no.
that's a bad idea. That's what he's. Check, not save, right?
No, just to check.
Yeah.
Uh-oh.
Yes, come on.
Oh,
Sorry.
look, Kinryu's here. Kinryu, come on, save the day with your +0 modifier. Whoops, did I roll that? 12. Yep, okay, thank you.
That's awesome. Okay.
I do want to point out that the last time us four were together, I'm pretty sure we killed our NPC.
Yeah, yeah.
That happens every
should
other
be-
week.
That should be noted.
Did not kill her.
It was
She was too
accidental. Anyways, down the hole you go, Soren.
Yep.
I have a climb speed, so I'm just gonna go down until I can see something.
I hate that now.
Sneakily,
Wait, just a second.
Very sneaky.
Just a second.
Nice
Roman
knowing you, Soren.
calls out from beyond the grave, and he rolls a natural 20.
Oh, there you go!
Oh,
Yay!
there we
Save our
go.
asses. Save our asses for bad ideas.
Look at that! Look at that beautiful roll.
Ooh.
And he points out that he's really keen to resurrect Armistice. He's trying to think of the things that he needs.
Oh, I don't remember. You remember?
He needs
I haven't-
chains.
The chains themselves? So you want to cut off some chains?
I'm not breaking these chains. If they're containing whatever beast is down there, I'm not breaking them.
Chains
Oh.
of Infernal Iron.
Oh,
Okay.
the chain demon things.
Melted.
Oh, right. Did their chains melt though?
Yes, they did.
Oh, lame. Okay. well,
Is is this Infernal Iron as we're like pointing at the big chain thing?
It doesn't look like classical iron. There's definitely a darkish tint to it. You figure it's probably worth a check. And further to your point, Soren, like the chain is kind of along here as well. That's what this little blue line is indicating, that there's some slackness in the chain
Go off
itself.
the end of it.
Mhm.
I didn't bring any chain cutters.
Darn, me neither.
You're the strong one. Can you break a chain?
Tried. Thought we were supposed to stop the chains from being broken.
Yeah, yeah, we are.
This part of it. We're not worried about this part right now.
Extra part is
part's
what
hard.
she's thinking.
Yeah.
I can try, but you
I could
just want me
do-
to hit iron with a hammer. I don't think that will break
I-
them, especially if they're infernal.
I mean, you have the
Why-
hammer. Go ahead.
Why don't we wait till after we deal with whatever's in the hole?
See
I
if
don't
it's
want to
hot.
mess with the chains and accidentally set it free, so.
Yeah, I'm good with that. I know Soren. I mean, I know if Roman was here, that he might have different ideas, but no, I did that time, didn't I?
Yeah, you did it. Yeah.
You caught it. If Roman was here, then he would probably disagree. But
I mean, are we coming back up here? Because of the next
And-
part.
in theory, we have no idea how to get out of here.
I have no idea. Well, I do know how we got here, but it's gonna be heck going back.
Yeah, I mean, that's too meta. And I was like, most times, you find out better ways back, right? But we don't know that.
And I mean, we could always get the chains after we're done down there, because the chains obviously go down there.
Out of
That-
curiosity's sake, I'm just gonna punch a piece of the chain to see if it's like breakable.
I'm gonna get off
I
the
do that?
chain while they're messing with it.
So assume one at the end of the chain itself.
Yeah, sure. Just to like test it. I just want to see if it'll break. If you know,
Okay.
if we put force.
Feel free to take a swing. Make an attack roll.
Oh,
Oh, so you come down with your thunder gauntlet, just
Bro,
as the whole thing erupts, and
break the whole chain and we lose.
no effect on the chain.
No effect.
I was gonna throw arrows down the hole if it did.
I know, right? She freed it. Whatever it was, she freed it.
I told you so.
let's see how that would have been so cool. Anyway,
All right. The other thing I've got was something like we could break a link. You can stick his Judas's. What is it? It's an axe. It's a
Oh.
hammer.
it's a hammer, yeah.
Yeah, the handle inside of it and try to wedge it to break the chain.
I
So
don't
that would be possible.
think that's going to work against infernal. I
You
don't
could-
think that would work against a normal chain.
Would any of
Yeah.
us smart, lovely folks know how to like what infernal iron is made out of, or how to break it?
You're the artificer.
It's made out of infernal iron.
Yeah, I think this
Maybe
does
it-
come down to Eris. You can make I guess an alchemy check, so you can add your proficiency onto it. So D20 plus your proficiency plus wisdom, I guess, or intelligence, up to you.
I do have smith's tools, if that'll help me at all
Yep.
in this.
Yep, wouldn't
Yeah.
hurt.
Okay. That one goes off of my intelligence, or do you want it off of the wisdom?
Your choice.
Not bad.
22. Well, you do remember or know from your smithing studies that infernal iron is incredibly strong and incredibly hard and incredibly difficult to forge. You know it's traditionally forged in the pits of hell, the fiery pits of Avernus, which is not obviously applicable here. And you feel the only way to possibly make it at least malleable is under the effects of extreme heat. And concentrated and sustained.
Yeah, I thought of heat, but I thought infernal. And I just had to get, yeah.
Yeah, but extreme heat is something that I don't think any of us are really.
No, no, I don't have
Well,
anything.
And sustained heat. I can do it in little spurts, but I can't
Yeah.
have it constantly.
So we continue on and back to climb the chain and see if we keep an eye out for anything that would give us kind of sustained heat, huh?
Yeah. Well, we
Or
can
if
always unhook it if we find that it's not connecting nothing down there.
yeah, exactly.
That'd be weird, wouldn't it?
That'd be funny.
Yeah. Unexpected. All right, so Soren, back to the fish hook. Get back to the chain. You go.
Yeah. I'm gonna do this as sneakily as possible, I guess.
Okay, so we'll have you going down incredibly slowly. You're not worried about
Yeah.
falling, but make me a stealth check.
Oh lord. Can I get over a 10 tonight? Like really?
Dang, man. We got some good rolls coming then. Eris already used one of hers. But...
Okay, you descend down 100 feet or so, and the tunnel is kind of twisting and turning. It's not like it's all completely vertical. Some places it goes horizontally and you kind of stick to the ceiling. And as you're trying to be sneaky, this chain swings just a little bit and it kind of thumps into you and you let out a little grunt as it hits you. But with your spider climb, you're solid. But you're not being very sneaky, and you know you're not being very sneaky. And you continue to descend down. You're 100 feet down. Do you want to go another 100 feet?
You're 500 feet past your 60-foot talking to Eris, right?
No, it's 5 miles or 7 miles.
Oh gosh.
Oh,
Okay.
gosh.
See you
But
later.
it only lasts 7 minutes. So how long has it been? Climb speed of 35.
So 35, that will be about 200 per minute. So
I have a little ways to go then. Okay,
Yeah,
okay.
So
We'll say
I'll keep
you continue at a steady pace until you break mind contact with Eris. So you head down and down and down. As I say, this chain continues to sway. Every so often it thumps into you, and you get a little, like there's spikes on these chains, and it hurts. Not enough to do any actual damage with the way they're swaying at the moment. And you go down 1,500 feet, 2,000 feet, and you take another step, and the mental bond you have with Eris stops.
Okay. Well, I'll go back, I guess.
Okay.
It goes forever. So, yeah, I'll just go back.
Well, it goes down 2,000 feet at least.
Yeah.
I'll make a perception check too for me, please, Soren.
Oh boy.
So this is right at the bottom of the chain.
Well, I asked for over 10, so I got it.
raise the bar.
Can you hear faint sounds? You're not quite sure what it is. What languages do you speak, Soren?
All the spoopy ones. So, Abyssal, Deep Speech, Undercommon. Common.
Okay. So just at the very edge of your hearing, you pick up something talking in an abyssal. It's abyssal. You recognize it as abyssal, but you don't quite get all of it. You hear these 3 words. There's some others in there, but that is what you hear.
Cool.
It's just really, just ever so faintly you hear it. With a higher perception, you would have got more of it, but that's all you get.
Take what I can get, I guess. Yeah, I'll keep going back up to the group.
Okay, easy enough to do.
Yeah, so it goes a while. I went till my telepathy ran out. So, at least like 2,000-ish, give or take a few feet. Heard some mumbling once I got down there a little bit, so there's definitely something down there, but it's quite a ways down.
But always being more than 2,000 feet. So,
Yeah.
I mean, do we all want to go down that way then? What do we want to do? Do we have a path? Do we explore this place we're at for it more?
Is there an elevator in this establishment?
Later.
No.
It's called
Yeah.
Let Go of the Chain.
Oh.
Yeah.
Would we be able to, like, I guess it's not really sound for, like, math or how good we would be at it, but if we did the old drop a coin down a hole trick, could we time, like, based on how it falls, how deep it would be?
Unfortunately, it's not just a vertical shaft. It twists and turns.
Right.
Like at some point, Soren was climbing on the roof as it moved horizontally, and with his Spider-Man style.
Yeah, she's a smart one. What do you want to do?
It doesn't look like these cultist folks went down there at any point, eh? It looks like, are there any prints or anything on this? Or
Make a survival check, Eris.
ooh, not bad.
You look around, and it's particularly around the footprints, just as the chain turns into the holes. You don't notice any footprints that would indicate one of these cultists went down the hole. Get the impression they were all up here and doing evil cultist shit, but not actually descending down here.
So if we study this, can we get all turn what they were doing? Like what the symbols, anything that shows what they were?
The symbol on the front of the altar, kind of where you're standing, Rafe, is similar to the door that you did not open at the start of this complex. If you remember, it was a 5-pointed star. Each kind of, lines connecting the stars were in the shape of chains, and there were 5 distinct holes at each point of the star. There's that symbol there again. Even with Soren's prestidigitation, there's still some deep stains in the altar. Like it's just basically stone, but there's redness in it. Probably, baked in blood that even prestidigitation couldn't fix. There's a crankshaft there that you could presumably tighten or loosen the chain. And once again, you saw a cultist throw himself on here when you arrived. A couple of the chain devils then cranked it, and the person on here died. And once again, they were definitely trying to loosen as opposed to tighten it.
So we could tighten it just because it sounded like we would do opposite what they want to do. But that's, less informed logic.
Oh yeah, man. If you want to undo what they did, you definitely want to tighten the chain.
Is this statue actually here?
Yes. That statue is actually there, and it looks like a demonic kind of creature, flames erupting from its head, and several chains holding it down.
Okay, so that the idea is Rafe will go and try to reverse what they did. I guess you say tighten the chains.
Okay, it's not hard to work out which way it goes, just by the cogs and stuff on it. So Rafe, you hold on to it, put your back into it. Make me a strength check. Righty tighty, lefty loosey.
Right.
My wife's favorite saying.
Yeah, not so good.
Yeah, it doesn't even budge an inch. Just no purchase at all.
You'd also be bored.
Maybe we should get a real man to do it.
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
Soren walks up to it.
Do it. Show him up to it.
Hilarious.
Oh,
So not so much
I
by
loosen- I
strength,
loosen-
but you definitely
I loosened it for you. I loosened it for you.
But with Rafe loosening it up for you, and more than angles than anything, you really put your back in a feeling on a sharp Rafe. It doesn't move an inch.
Huh. I mean, if I can't move it, I don't really know who can. And he'll just go over here, moping.
Kinryu says, "Well, let's see what a 5-year-old child can do." And he throws his
Oh,
back
here we
into it. And
Not his
he
back.
rolls a 14. So, yeah, once again, not moving an
Okay.
inch.
Rafe's gonna bring Tana up and try to pull it.
Okay. Make a strength
Oh my
check with advantage.
Advantage, okay. That's better.
Yeah, Tana, Rafe. Let's say everybody gets in and just, or you all put your back in to try and move it. All your strength, we'll say, adds up to a roll of 30. It doesn't move an inch.
Well, I think we're missing a corpse here. I think we need a.
Are you
Well,
volunteering?
it really can't be
You
a
are a
corpse.
corpse. You are a corpse.
I take offense to that.
can we slap one of those bodies that are on the ground onto the altar and then try turning it?
This could go bad, really, really bad.
I mean, they're just sitting right here. They're not.
I
doing
know we
anything.
don't know what body you're doing. We could loosen it by accident.
Well, don't turn it that way.
In theory.
So you're taking one of the, well, they're all not recently deceased, right? Because you took a long rest. But do you want to
they're a
take one
little
of the ones that you
goopy.
killed, like as opposed to sacrifice themselves? Like which one? Which
Yeah.
one? Okay. So one of these ones who just kind of died on combat, Arid brings up the body and flops it on top of the corpse, just on top of the cog mechanism. Yep, it's there.
Okay,
Some-
let's try and turning it now.
Try Tana again.
That does anything.
Okay,
Maybe we'll-
strength
I'll-
at advantage.
I'll- Cut it open so it's leaking a little bit.
Okay.
Ugh.
Actually, I don't have a knife, so I'll use my teeth.
Oh,
Oh.
too soon.
No, please don't.
Okay, so Sauron, you take a bite out of it, and some of it's blood. I'm not sure exactly about the medicine of dead bodies and how long before the blood fully coagulates, but I'm going to say this one, some very thick, viscous kind of blood pours out onto the chain. And then Tana and Rafe put their backs into it. Make me a strength check at advantage, Rafe.
I'd say right there. It's a 24.
Oh yeah, 24. You did it again. Okay, 24. Slowly starts turning. It's an effort, Rafe. It's not trivial. You're sweating. Tana's kind of straining, but the chain is tightening. And you continue to push on it, and you get kind of about 3-4 rotations, and then it just proves impossible to move again.
Jeez.
So we need like a bunch of people to kill.
Okay, not a psychopath, noted Eris.
Okay.
Well, I say we just leave it.
That's the option. You gotta go find some people to kill.
Uh,
I mean, just saying. No, they wouldn't be good people. It'd be bad people. Go ahead.
thinking just a second. Okay, no. Just because that would be messed up. Okay.
Or is it no, or is it yes because it's messed up? It's
Mm.
a fine line.
Right.
Oh, it's crossing the line because it involves a dog, so it doesn't. That's a bad.
Hey, you
Um,
leave the pupper alone that we always forget is with us.
That definitely made it across the gorge earlier. Yep.
Oh, totally.
Um, is there anything in this room? Like I know you mentioned that the door, had, I think you said, was it 5 doors that
Yep.
were connected with chains?
Mhm.
Is there anything in this room that would connect with that star symbol, other than the, you said the altar had a shape on it, correct?
Yep. Make an investigation check to see if you can find any star-shaped things. Come on, just at least one good roll, guys. So it's not bad. You scan around, maybe looking for a key or something you can insert into the 5 holes and twist. You don't find anything.
Rick, what's the? I guess we can investigate the room. Not investigate. Let's just see what you said, the tracks, and see where they came from. Which way they all come one door. They said when we came in, they come in a different direction. Where'd they come from?
Sorry, my wife was just talking to me for a second. Can you say
No
that again?
worries. Yeah, where did all the bad guys walk in from? Where are they? Same place we came from, or another direction? Or reverse track them? Where'd they go or start from?
So how what you're trying to work out is how they got here.
Yeah, and if they're what direction? If I was going to try to backtrack them, where would that go?
Well, I think with previous survival checks, they definitely came down this here. They didn't come from a completely foreign, different direction. That down these same stairs that you came from. If you want to know more beyond that, you'd have to backtrack and see where they went. But they definitely came from over here.
Well, that's the thing I have left to do is try to backtrack and see where they came from and try to find any kind of base or find any people that any other baddies that we could question. But I'm not me being Rafe, but also me, not really a puzzle person. So if you guys have other ideas of how you could solve the puzzle, I'm game to wait. But that's what I'm going to do.
I feel like following tracks is probably a good idea.
Anybody else have any ideas? Soren, you got anything?
I got nothing.
You still there?
Yeah, I mean, why don't we we should just bury this place and,
Bury it how?
oh, knock down a few walls, let it collapse in on itself.
But then what if we have to come back here?
I mean, if we have to come back here, it's going to be because somebody else tries to loosen the chain, so they'll have cleared it. Just, we can't go down, right? So let's...
We also want to tighten these chains up, right? We're going to leave it the way it is, you think?
Is there a way to tighten them? Do we know how? We've tried.
Dead bodies.
Oh my goodness.
Well, the dead body thing is only. Does anybody have holy water or like anything like that? I know probably Sister Abidi did, but she is a popsicle, so that is unhelpful. Does anybody else have any holy water?
I don't really have any holy water, no.
Chicken Kenryu. Kenryu does not.
I can think.
I
Yeah,
have
I don't
a
have it.
holy symbol.
I don't have it prepared, but I think I can do something. Ceremony.
I also have this wooden stake.
Yeah, I
Which I
can.
just realized is in my inventory and is kind of hilarious that I'm carrying a wooden stake around.
Kill
I would
yourself if you go too far.
I guess.
I would need time to whatever it takes for Paladin to change a spell, but I do have a spell that's plus water. But it would take, no, I guess another long rest plus an hour.
And we're just guessing, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
I mean, Soren, you have that holy symbol. You could try smacking it up against the altar a few times, and we'll try cracking it to see if that works. Other than that, I don't think that there's anything that we can do here at the moment, other than go back and try to follow these tracks.
Yep. We can knock a few walls down if you want to. You guys go for it. I don't know how. That's your. You got a hammer. I don't
mean,
know.
Does the room or the structure look unstable in any way, or I mean, it's half
There's a
missing.
yeah, there's a hole.
I mean, and if you're looking to collapse this cavern in upon itself, you look around. It's almost like in its own little mini cave here. There's no actual pillars or support structures holding the roof up, but you'd have to find a way to collapse this mini cave in upon itself.
Yeah,
I'm
so we
not
probably
entirely sure how to do that.
Let's
It'd be quite difficult. And of course, it's obvious to everybody that if you did manage to bring the cavern down on yourself, it's very difficult to also stop the entire mountainside falling on yourself as well. That would be something you'd have to consider as well.
Very good point. I'm still not liking that idea very much. So you should want to try that, or you want to do face the tracks?
I don't think we have the equipment. I
All
can't
right.
collapse a cavern.
All
I
right.
mean, maybe this new hammer, but there's no way to control it.
All right. Then we'll go back out here, where the tracks were, and try to follow these tracks back.
Okay, so you head back away from the temple of the temple. Rafe looks like leading the way, following the tracks, and you do follow the tracks. They go up the steps. You notice takes a good hour or so to. I mean, there's only one way they could go. At one point, the cavern splits into two paths. One is the path that you came from, and another path kind of heading on. And you get down, take a look at these tracks, Rafe, and figure the only way they could go is the way you didn't go. And you follow them up and up and up and up and up. And eventually you come to what looks like the reverse side of the door that you didn't open, with the same symbol on it, the same five-pointed symbol with 5 holes in each of the points of this palm-sized object. And you do notice, once again, it's hard not to notice, several, about 10 or so very obvious finger bones at the base of this door.
Finger bones. Okay.
They, yeah, like leaning down and picking one up and taking a look. Do they look like keys of any type, or are they just like bones?
Just look like fingers. Some of them are skeletal, some of them still with some flesh on them.
Yeah, I won't touch those ones. Okay, so we've got a finger pile.
It's finger pie.
And thinking back to the room with the crank and the chain and stuff like that, was there any like keyholes or anything like that, or nothing?
Not that you could see.
So this door is there any way to open it? We see it looks. We need to handle push, or is it just is it the puzzle?
No hinges, no openings, no door handles, nothing like that. It's a rusty piece of metal about 10 feet by 10 feet with this star-shaped symbol that I've explained right in the center of it.
Hey, looks at Eris. You're the smart one. What are we doing?
So, for the stars on the door, is it 5 separate stars that are connected via chain? Like
One
that's essentially
star.
what it is.
One star.
One star.
Yeah, with almost like a star you draw in kindergarten, right? With you draw a line from here to here to here to here to form the star. And at each apex of the star, there's a hole in it. So there's 5 holes altogether.
Almost losing a finger.
Ooh.
Yep. Well, that's also gets back to the other side of the door we were already on before, right?
Can I shove a finger bone
There
in
you
the
go.
hole and see what happens?
Yeah, it fits nice and snugly, but that's about it.
Can I just fill these holes with finger bones and see if it does anything?
Um, Once again, they all fit snugly. They're fairly easy to put in. Nothing happens.
Try turning it with the finger in the holes.
Everyone has to put a finger in.
But I don't wanna. Um. Hmm. Mhm.
I'm pushing your palm up against the center and kind of trying to twist it as Udas suggests. No effect.
Well, what the heck?
Are there buttons inside the hole? Can you, if stick a finger inside the hole, is there something, a latch or a
So
hook?
let's say Udas, you pluck out one of the fingers and get down really close. Kind of, I'm not sure if you have dark vision or not, but a torch would do it just as well. Make an investigation check, Udas. Yeah, as far as you can tell, they're just holes, and they go about the depth of a finger. Like if you put your finger here, your like fingernail or the tip of your finger would touch the back of this rusty door.
I think we just all have to put our fingers in. 5 of us.
You really lose
Wait.
them?
All lose fingers. Only some of us might lose fingers.
If you remember, I said it was a palm-sized symbol, and
So one person could put 5 fingers in.
yeah, one person could put 5 fingers in, yep, including their thumb.
So Roman decides he.
Henry,
Oh,
you.
no. So I'm gonna do the same idea as Eudes. I'm actually gonna get down. I'm gonna take a look inside the mechanism, but on like my offhand on my armor, I'm going to use my magical tinkering, and I'm gonna draw out what I think the inside of this mechanism looks like, so I can get like a better idea of how this thing works. I want to know if this is gonna chop something off. Essentially, is what I'm trying to figure out.
Okay, so can you explain how you're investigating it again?
So I'm getting down, putting my eye to like the hole. I do have dark vision. Kind of taking a look at the inside. If I need to, I do have Tinker's tools. I can get out and kind of prod a few things without trying not to activate anything.
Sure. Make a Tinker Tools check, and I think this would be a Dex modifier.
Okay. Let me just Dex. Oh.
Oh, ow! It's got to be a little bit more than that, doesn't it? Don't you get your proficiency as well?
Yeah, that is with the proficiency.
Is it?
You roll.
Ah, so you rolled a 2 and you have a
Wow.
+4 with those things. Yeah.
Yeesh.
So you get down with your Tinker Tools, kind of using, say, like a mirror, like a dentist would use to try and look in there, around there, looking for a mechanism, and you're worried about, obviously, your finger is getting chopped, and you don't notice anything. And you almost drop your Tinker Tools, and they like clank to the ground, you know. Everything's rolling great tonight.
I know, right?
Okay, well this might be a bad idea. Could I stick my tail in there and see if I can get it to activate?
Oh my god.
Lordy.
Sure. You stick your tiefling tail in there, and nothing happens. Very brave, but nothing happens.
Okay, well I've stuck something in it. Somebody else stick something else. I'm not looking, and I'm gonna turn around, but have my tail in the door.
Gonna regret this. Rafe goes up there and he'll put his fingers inside the holes and see what happens.
No.
4 fingers and a thumb, Rafe.
Yep.
No.
Oh,
No.
God.
Soren stops you. Soren stops you.
Why?
Has to do it.
He's
If
like, you
he
need both your
doesn't-
hands. I don't, and then Soren will put his fingers in.
Oh my god.
I only need one for magic.
Eris is just looking. It's like, I just stuck my tail in this. Nobody offered anything.
Oh, Rafe.
Yeah.
If you want to allow Soren to do that, then we can just say he did it. Or if you want to sacrifice your fingers, what do you want to do, Rafe? Let him do it.
Reluctantly, he will. Yeah, he'll let him do it because he's right.
Okay, so Soren, you put your pinky, then every finger's inside, and nothing happens. And finally, you put your thumb in, and you hear a thunk sound, and you bring your hand back from your left hand, assuming you're right-handed, and your fingers and your thumb are sheared off. You can take a -2 permanent damage to your dexterity as you lose both your fingers on your hand, so -2 to dexterity. And the door swings open.
Had to happen.
This door better fucking stay open.
Can we prop it open with some?
Certainly try, yeah.
Um,
What do you
Grab
want?
those fingers.
Yeah, just put the
the
fingers,
fingers.
jam them at the bottom.
Yeah,
yeah, I mean,
that's what they're good for now.
I was gonna say put them in the bag of holding, but okay. Might fix them later.
Yeah, maybe put
Oh.
those in a bag of holding, you know.
And that much damage.
them on
as
some
well.
ice.
11 points of damage, Soren. As your
Oh,
fingers
my
are sheared
temp
off.
HP is gone.
Oh, 9, yeah, exactly your temp HP. Yep. But the door
I'll-
creaks open.
I'll quickly bandage Soren's hand so he doesn't have like a fingerless hand dripping blood everywhere as we go.
You can't help the fingerless hand, but you can stop the flow of blood.
Yeah. Yeah, if we can just like shove rubble and stuff like that underneath this door to keep it from closing, I think that's a good idea.
Yeah, so it opens a full 90 degrees, and you pile some rubble around it, and pile even a path right back to the door. At the moment, it's not resisting it or anything; it's remaining open. Make a survival check, Eris. Let's see how good your rock stacking skills are.
Ooh.
Oh, pretty good.
Decent.
Pretty good. Okay, the door is open. And you look at the other side of the door, and it opens to the outside. You're back onto the mountainside again. And you look through it, and you step out into the open. You notice a path leading down, and just to the right of the door, a narrow path is kind of winding up the cliffside.
Well,
Up we go.
we're going up that path, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, gonna
So,
go up the path down the narrow side.
Isn't that where we went before?
Yeah, that was a giant circle, and now this guy doesn't have fingers. We're not going off the side. Oh, I guess you
Was
can
this
walk.
was this a giant circle?
Well, this
Yeah.
is the door we started last session at,
Yep.
Did
and then we
go
went
the
up and
narrow path? Oh,
around.
shit.
Yeah. Yeah.
Wash your hand for nothing.
Is there a path that we haven't taken, or is it just the path up?
It's
This
down
was
the
all-
chain.
This looks all very familiar.
Down a chain, yeah.
Remember,
Down
you
a
came
chain.
to
the
a
path we
door
got.
last session, and you decided not to do it, and you went down the side of the cliff, and
Yeah.
had all those misadventures here, thinking this is a better way than sacrificing your fingers.
It was.
Now you've opened the door that you refused to open before.
Yeah,
Okay.
and sacrifice my fingers for nothing.
Yeah.
Cool. Cool. Thanks,
good-
guys.
It's a good
I'll,
story.
Yeah, I'll give you.
Alrighty.
I'm gonna have to do one of these.
Oh, I like the
Sorry.
visual for that too. That's funny.
I hate you all.
You're the
So
one that
now,
offered.
Arlen,
bro.
I was going to do it because we're sitting there talking all the time. So we're going down the chain, right? That's all we have
We've
left.
exhausted all of our options.
I know. That's kind of where I was. Okay.
We left the door propped open though, right? Because I'm not
yeah.
I'm
we
not
did.
Yes,
putting
the door-
anything else on the
well-
poles.
As you're kind of kicking yourself for what this misadventure that cost Soren his fingers, you notice the door is trying to close up again, but it's pressing up against the rock pile that Eris has made. And Eris, you look at it closely, peering at your handiwork, and it appears to be holding firm. So it appeared to remain open for about a minute, but the rocks are preventing it from closing again. So at least you feel you have a way out.
Okay. Yeah, I think our plan's
That's-
kind of the death pit.
Yeah, pretty much.
So we followed the footsteps here. Which way did the footsteps come from? Like tracking wise, was it the same area that we came from originally?
Yes. Like the decision you made about not opening the door previous time, the tracks just go further down the mountain.
Okay. Yeah, I think down the death pit we go.
Alright.
Hopefully
Going-
we're all
going
good at
last.
yeah. Oh my goodness, you're climbing with one hand, buddy.
He
Still
has
better
one
climber
finger
than all of
climb.
you.
He's fine.
Probably, yeah.
This way I can kick one of you assholes down the hole if I want.
Of course, Soren, your climbing speed is unaffected. But
Yeah.
obviously all your dex checks and I imagine your armor class has gone down by 1 as well.
Yeah, that's okay. I wasn't too worried about my AC anyways, it's already pitiful.
Yeah, so effectively you get a -1 toward dex checks and your armor class, right? Because
That's
just out of interest, what's your dex now?
13.
Oh, not too bad.
Yeah.
Okay, so so it sounds like you guys want to progress down this chain. Who's leading the
Yep.
way? How are you doing that? You've all got dark vision, right?
Yeah.
That's right? Yeah, okay. So won't worry about that. So Soren, you head down first.
I guess so.
Okay.
Bunch of cowards.
Now, as you all progress down, at some places it's kind of wide enough for 2 or so to go next to each other if you wanted to. But at other places it narrows up into a fairly tight gap. As I said, it doesn't just go straight down, it kind of twists around corners. Some places it's horizontal, some places it's purely vertical. So who's following Soren down? Who's next?
Guess Rafe's the next one.
Wait a second.
So we'll put Rafe.
Does
say
mending work on fingers?
You can try if you like.
Single break or tear in an object. I mean, my finger is technically an object because it's not attached to me anymore.
Would you like to try mending?
I don't have it.
Oh, well,
Oh, her.
So what,
You'll have it?
so what you're saying is, hey Eris, try
Yes.
Yeah.
something for me. I see what you're saying.
Yes.
I'll
yes.
try to see if it does anything.
okay, so you cast mending, attempting to sew it back together. No.
What about if, like, I hold all my fingers against
Oh,
it,
wait.
then you cure wounds it?
I can try if you'd like, just out of pity. Just be a first level.
Yeah.
There you
Okay,
go,
so
buddy.
With on one hand, you connect it up. Eris cast her cure wounds. Oops. And You feel the healing energy surging into you. You hold your fingers together, and they don't attach.
Yeah, we need to regenerate.
Well, I'm out 5 fingers and you're out a first level spell slot. Let's carry on.
Well, when we get back to a town, we can pay for a high level cleric to reattach him. I think.
We'll just keep them in a bag of holding so they don't die on me.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll throw them in the bag. I'll like wrap them up first so they're not floating out in space.
I
all flooded
mean,
themselves.
like, can they really die? Because they're already technically dead. So, I'll be fine.
Keep in mind that a bag of holding is not a bag of preservation.
Yeah.
Things
I
will
mean, we
rot
could
in there.
always.
Do we have anything that
always- No.
No.
No. But we could always just put some other person's fingers on your hand if it comes down to it.
Are you volunteering?
No? Can you imagine? They'd be pink.
You could chop your whole hand off and attach the hand of Victor.
There we go.
Ooh.
Let's go find me a hand, guys.
There we go.
Oh, no.
A new task for the group.
Get Soren a new hand.
That's awesome. I think we
Do
should
you
go do that.
guys know what I'm actually referring to? Who actually
Absolutely. Absolutely.
did that? That was a baller move. Okay, so Soren, one-handed, magic seemingly not wanting to reattach your fingers, at least not now anyway. Yep. Who's so we've got Soren, then Rafe. Who's after Soren and Rafe? I will say Kinryu's in the middle.
Yeah, I'll bring up the rear.
Okay.
You should have meant that, right?
Eris like this, so you're like traveling basically in this direction. Okay, you start climbing down. Soren, despite your recent loss, you are climbing down fairly efficiently. Everyone else is kind of taking their time. The chain is still rattling a little bit. Soren, you would notice it is not rattling quite as much as before, presumably due to the 4 or so cranks that Rafe and Tana did. But it's swaying. Every so often you lose your grip, but you kind of push up against the side of the wall and you manage to go down here. Eventually you come to the point where Soren ran out of voice communication or telepathic with Eris. And 2,000 feet down, can you all make me a perception check, please? Somebody roll good.
Not me.
Oh,
I've not rolled good all night. Hey, he does. Go Bell Knight.
What languages do you
New
speak,
bell.
Judas?
Oh, none. Like Dwarven and Primordial, I believe.
So this chant becomes clear to you. This phrase that's repeated over and over again. You hear it perfectly. You have no idea what it's saying. It's
Yep, I
unfortunate.
hear that chant you were talking about.
Oh yeah, oh yeah.
It's
Isn't
there.
it lovely?
And I'll point out that with your 20 perception, you know, chant is maybe the wrong word for me to use. It implies many people saying it. You get the impression it's one being saying it, just over and over again. So it's not, you get the impression it's not like 20 cultists saying it over and over again. It's one creature saying it over and over again. It's not really a chant.
Whatever this is big and it just keeps saying the same thing.
Give us your best impression.
Yeah.
What are
If you
the
want to,
words?
make a performance check, Judas,
No,
to
but-
mimic the sounds.
Beautiful.
Ooh.
Yeah,
He does a
feeling the beat.
He does a reasonable job, but Eris and Soren, you still can't make it out. I mean, it's a very harsh language, and some of the sounds Judas, you just can't make. I mean, imagine the uncuts, the director's cut the Fellowship of the Ring, where Gandalf actually uses the language of Mordor. Very foreign, very difficult to replicate. So despite your relatively good impression, not good enough.
I see. Well, let's keep on keeping on.
Okay,
Down.
so you
Down we
start
go.
climbing down, and things get a little weird. You're kind of idly chatting to each other for a while, and somebody asks somebody a question, and then you wait for a reply to the question, and it seems like 3-4 hours go past, and you kind of shrug, maybe they didn't hear you, and then they reply appropriately to your question. It's weird. There's some type of time delay or something. And other times you're just scooting down these chains at a appreciable speed. Soren is scampering around, just crazily going down. Everybody's following after them. And other times it seems like a crawl once again. And you start answering questions back and forth, like trying to work out what's happening. Like you say, everybody on the count of 3. 1, 2. And some people say it straight away. Some people take an hour, it seems. Some people even get a little bit of hid of where the beat of 3 would be. It's really, really off-putting. Can I have you all make me charisma saving throws, please?
Oh, good. It's not a deck save.
Oh, no, you're rolling good.
It's a good roll.
It's the
You
only
must
thing
just-
I'm good at, man.
Yeah,
Oh,
before.
you does. So Rafe and Soren, you kind of put these thoughts out of your head. But Eris, you take this much psychic damage. And Udas, you take this much psychic damage. So 4 for Eris, 8 for Udas. This is just maddening, this time dilation. And you continue to follow this down. Because of this weird time dilation thing that you're experiencing, you're not entirely sure how much time has passed. But one thing you do notice as you go down, the chain definitely follows this a certain path through this cavernous systems. You notice passageways leading left and right of the cavern. Just sort of appears to be natural, cavern-like systems. So it's not just this tunnel. There's other bits and pieces either side of it. Now, let me just look at my thing here. Okay, so you head further down into the hole, and you hear some weird kind of chattering noises. I'll say after this weird time dilation thing, those who can speak Abyssal will pick up these signs, and sometimes it gets louder, sometimes it says quietly, but it's definitely one voice that's saying this, and this is what you hear. Oh, fragmented.
Fragmenté.
Fragmented.
Fancy.
The rage demon.
No! I assume Soren and Eris relay this information.
Yeah.
Be secret.
And you continue down. You get to a point of this descent when you're more or less just heading straight down a vertical shaft. So Soren scampering away, everyone else, just following behind as you end in this completely vertical shaft. And just for a moment, Ken Ryu, with his passive perception of 15, says, "Hey guys, you hear that? There's something different apart from that voice. And you all pause on the chain.
Oh no.
And then you hear it too. This little slithering sounds almost. This
No.
underlying cackling. And down from below, Kenryu says, look, there it is. And you see this creature.
Adorable.
It's got 10 tentacles, this red eye glowing from the center of it. And that's what Kenryu sees. And he says, guys, do you see that? And you do see it, but not quickly enough to react thanks to your passive perceptions.
I'll step in front of Soren now.
Well, this was the order I asked you that you were descending, so...
Gotcha. Okay.
Okay, so, yeah. Roll me one of these, if you'd be so kind. And I'll roll in Kenryu.
Aw, my initiative's a +1 now. It'll totally make a difference with that shitty roll.
Oh, hang on, mine did go in.
Am I able to re-roll? I don't want to waste a sorcery point. I'll just deal with death. It's fine.
Okay, and these things are kind of chattering under their breath. They're making sounds, and every so often you hear a word from them. Yep, feel free to manually adjust it, as you can always do. That's right. Okay. Okay, so let me roll in my friendly creatures here. And as I said, Kenryu is the first one who notices this. And look, he is at the top of the order as well. He sees them there. Come on, this is vertical, right? Like, Judas is vertically above Eris. You're all descending down this chain, so the map's kind of twisted on its side. Let's see what beautiful things he can do. He's going to cast I don't know what to do, guys. One of you guys is going to have to be quick and smash these things. And he reaches back, kind of passing right by Eris. And he's going to touch him and cast haste on Judas. Judas, you are hasted. I'll put a clock on you. Whoops. Put a clock on Judas. Okay, so Kenryu's first to react regardless. This creature to the south, I should say below, comes up before Soren. Just hovers. Where's my map?
Yes, go away from me.
There we go. Gets within 10 feet of you. And it reaches out with these tentacles and attempts to lash you with them. It whips out the first one. Rolls a 15. Is a 15 hitting you nowadays, Roman? Sorry.
I will cast shield.
Oh, nice. So shield pops up and push, you push off the attack. Second attack. It comes at you again with its second tentacle. Whoosh! This time rolling a 27. I think a 27 will hit you.
Oh, most definitely.
Even with a shield. So it wraps up to the tentacles wrap around you. First of all, take me 11 piercing damage. And make me an athletics or acrobatics check. So the tentacles wrap around you, but you can kind of grab them and throw them across, and the creature fails to grapple you. Comes out with a third tentacle attack. What's your AC now?
16.
Oh, 16. It misses. So, poof. Judas, you're caught flat-footed, as is Eris. So we're going to move right down to this one as it slides down, gets 10 feet above Udas. And Udas, your armor class is 14, is that right? Mr. Muted Udas?
Yeah, 14.
14. Okay, first attack. Tentacle lashes out. That's going to hit you for 14 points of damage. And make me an athletics or acrobatics check. Two other rolls.
Oh my god.
Ooh, it wraps the tentacles around you and you feel that you are restrained. In other words, you can't move. And your attacks are at disadvantage, and attacks against you are at advantage. It's next to tentacle attacks. One of them actually hits with advantage because you are grappled now. So taking another 12 points of damage on that one. The third one misses. Rafe, don't know what to do. Soren, you don't know what to do. Ken Ryu, who's the only one who's...
What? What was that?
Surprise round.
Oh,
You're
okay.
surprised apart from Ken Ryu, and now we're back to Ken Ryu. I don't. So hard playing other people's characters. He is just going to cast Chill Touch on one of these creatures. So he fires out with a Chill Touch, and he rolls a 9. So the spell goes off. He casts it. Psh, they see the ghostly hand reach out, trying to grab it, but it plain old misses. Okay, so. That's the end of that. Okay.
Oh, I forgot. I had +2 to my AC if that changed anything, by the way. I would have been at 16 because of haste.
16?
Because you cast haste.
Oh!
Forgot.
Yes. So I think you get 12 points back. The haste does help.
Nice.
Okay, so the one to the south of you, Soren, is going to have another flip with a tentacle. First one, 13.
Shield.
So shield goes up again. Second one, 11. Third one, 14. I think they all miss.
Let's go.
Hooray!
Yay.
Okay, Eudes, you're actually... it's your turn. Can you make me a Constitution saving throw, please? At the start of your turn. Do you feel the tentacles on your body? You feel little barbs popping out of the tentacle and poking into you, and you feel a zap of energy on you. But your Constitution saving throw is enough, and you almost feel as if it's zapping you, stunning you, trying to suck the blood out of you. On a successful save, you take no damage, so it is your turn. What do? You're hanging on to a rope. Tentacles wrapped around you. You are hasted.
I'm hasted. I'm going to bonus action. Rage.
Nice.
Oh my god. One again. That's insane. And 3 times. I will, since I'm wrapped up anyway, I will take I will go reckless and cancel out the...
Okay, so these are flat rolls, right? Because you're at disadvantage and you're throwing your weapon?
No, I'm just... Oh, if I have to move up, I would.
You're strange. You cannot move.
Oh, can't move. Well, then I can throw it once.
Well, you're throwing up, so technically it'll fall back down to you.
Don't hit
It
yourself.
gains a
with
light and thrown properly. If the weapon leaves your hand... Oh, at the end of your current turn. Okay. Okay, so let's take the first one, which is a 25. Throw it. It smacks into the creature. That's 17 bludgeoning. But that's 19 bludgeoning, right? With your rage.
And I will actually use my other... I should have done this first. Use my other action to try and break the restraint.
Sure, with your hasted action, absolutely.
Yeah. I should have done that first. That's okay. more fun this way. So athletics.
Yeah, for you. And at advantage because you are raging. Oh, no problem. Just rip the tentacle off. You are no longer restrained.
And then yeah, I will move up and. End my turn there.
Okay, so you move up, and then the Earthshaker
And
ball
we're-
zoop,
Yeah.
goes straight back into your hand. Okay, Eris. Hanging onto a rope.
Yes. I'm going to look up. I'm pretty sure if 3 of us take that person down there, that should be fine. So I'm gonna help you to sit this one. I'm going to. It's an area of effect, but I can just cast it like up here.
Sure.
I'm casting Nether's Mischief.
Ooh, okay.
So let me see which effect. Okay. So it is a Wisdom saving throw they have to make.
Okay, let's do a wisdom saving throw. Plus 5.
DC is 15.
Okay, they roll a 14.
Okay. So the smell of apple pie fills the air. Yeah. And they must succeed on a Wisdom saving throw, or become charmed by me, until the start of my next turn. So they're charmed.
Because pie.
Because pie. Yeah.
Apparently these ungodly creatures really like pie. So charmed by you means they don't attack you and treat you as a trusted ally. So let's see.
Yep.
So that's your action to cast that. You gonna say anything to them?
Well, as my bonus action, I'm gonna turn into lightning and get behind him. With my little kinetic artistry dash, I can move through creatures and enemies.
Yep, sure. So
That
British.
Of them. I don't know what it speaks, so in common I'll just say, "Hey, if you could stop fighting us, that'd be great. Thanks." Very convincing. Oh God.
Apparently doesn't
Oh God,
understand
please
common.
stop.
Do I understand whatever the heck it just said?
What languages do you speak?
Abyssal, Deep Speech, Undercommon.
You do recognize it as deep speech. And they are kind of ignoring Eris and are looking to consume the brains of Udas. So they say, we'll leave you alone, but this guy's brains look delicious. Words to that effect.
Do they though?
Soren will say to Eris, it really likes Udas's brains and wants to eat them.
Oh, lovely. Yeah. Mm.
Yep.
Speaking of Udas, because you attacked recklessly, it's going to attack you with a tentacle at advantage. Ooh, rolls a natural 20 for a total of 22 piercing, reduced to 11 because of your rage, and an athletics check at advantage. Okay, so you tries to wrap you around with these spiky tentacles. You rip them off your chest again. Comes out a second time. Rolling a 26. This time doing 21 piercing, reduced to 10. That's a very good roll. And once again, an athletics check at advantage. This tentacle attempts to wrap around you again. Oh, no problem. You rip it off your chest. Comes for a third time. This time rolling a 16. Does 16 hit now? I think it just does. With your haste. For 15 points of damage, reduced to 7 because of your rage. And for a third and final time, make me an athletics check. No problem. Yes, sorry, Rafe. I think because you changed your initiative order, the order
Yeah.
of things got a little weird.
Yeah, no worries.
So
No
that
worries.
was that one there. So yeah, have a turn now.
All right. He's gonna try to squeeze past Soren in between.
Okay,
And
as you're
then-
climbing down the chains and going
Mhm.
around Soren, can you make me... I'm going to say this an acrobatics check with Soren in the way.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, that's fine. So you go
Alright.
past... Yep.
I'm gonna bonus action cast Shield of Faith and do a slight little prayer to Charity and just kind of think of her for Yeadon swings.
For yourself?
Yeah, Shield of Faith, so it goes up to 24 AC.
Okay, so Shield of Faith goes up.
Swings with this thing twice.
Okay, 24 hits.
Okay. And we'll do a little a smite on the first one then.
Yeah, both of those hit, so we'll do 16 damage to start with.
Okay. So let's do one smite. I don't want to use too much to just start with. Yeah, good rolls though.
Oh.
16 damage.
16 damage as you light up your sword. Ugh! Carve into it. Nice hit.
Alright.
Oh, 32 damage. Nice.
And that's it.
Okay. Kinryu will see what's going on. Says, I wish the DM could play me better. And it's going to cast Chill Touch again. Rolling a 21. So his Chill Touch will hit. Ghostly hand comes and grasps whatever heart this creature has. And it takes 8 points of damage. Is there anything else for Chill Touch? I can't regain hit points. That's not going to really matter. So 8 points of damage on this one to the south. Okay, minus 8. All right. Okay, this one is going to attack you, Rafe. And what's your functional AC now? 24?
24, yeah.
Okay, first tentacle. Whoosh. Oh, did I click? I did not click. Ooh, rolls a 26. So get through your Shield of Faith. Tentacles wrap around you. Take 20 points of piercing damage. And make me presumably an athletics check.
Okay. Acrobatics is better. Is it okay?
Yeah, acrobatics or athletics. I was just assuming
Yeah, I'm a Dix.
athletics. Okay, cool. 14 is just enough. You just managed to dodge it as it goes around you. And it's going to go again. This time rolling a 23, so that will miss. And the third and final one, I'm going to give you a fail with a natural one. Udas, no longer restrained, but getting beaten up by this creature. You are hasted, you are raging. What do you do? First, I unmute myself.
No, you're muted. Thank you. I mean,
No, that's
Yep.
my comment to Udas, yeah.
yeah.
I will go reckless and just bash into him.
Alright, so reckless attacks. Oh, so 21. Yeah, you just start hacking into them, and yeah, they all hit. Nice. Oh my goodness. So that's 30, 48, 58, 62, is that right?
30,
Mustang.
60.
15 plus 15 plus
Plus
18.
71 or
What?
plus 8.
Well, that's the damage there for that. Plus 8,
Okay,
right?
so 72.
Yeah, plus
yeah.
8, 72. Wow, so Udas completely and utterly losing it, just goes absolutely nuts. Thanks in no small part to Kinryu's Haith spell. And he start hacking into this creature. Oh my goodness, the damage you're doing is insane, and the creature just looks wrecked. Is that your turn, Judas?
Yep.
Get
Sorry.
him, Papa. That's what Kenryu would say.
Yeah. Thank you.
So having climbed down the rope, Rafe, and getting in front of this creature again. Now the order's a little bit weird, but you get another turn. What do you do?
I unmute, and then I swing.
Unmute and swing. Good combination.
Two swings there.
Swing at the creature. 18 hits.
So we'll be
That
two
was this
18s.
one. 13 points of damage. Nice.
Yeah, well,
Waiting
yeah,
for
with
it.
the once more. Yeah, it's mine again.
Okay, Divine Smite.
We're gonna do one level 2 on this one, so this is a 3d8.
Yep, they're not undead, so 3d8. Oh, it's a
Ugh,
shocker!
Bad roll. Happens.
3, a 2, and
Okay.
a 1. 6 points of damage. Regardless, your holy sword cuts into it. You feel the power flowing through it as this creature... Oh! Recall is back. Okay, nice. Assume you're going to stay there. Eris, your turn.
Yep.
So first of all, the charm condition ends. So that spell only really, or that portion of the spell only really works if it wants to attack me. So good to know.
Okay.
Would it be a bad idea in our current position to be using Booming Blade?
Oh.
Okay, well, we're gonna find out here. I'm gonna go ahead and punch him with my Booming Blade.
Okay.
16 hit.
16 does hit.
Okay. So we got that to start. And then we got the 1d8. So the first number is the actual damage on top, so an extra 2, and then an 8 if it moves.
Okay, just take a note of that. 8 if it moves. Okay, so you wind up your gauntlets, punch this thing with your booming blade as it echoes down the corridor. The chain swings and sways a little bit. Not enough to seriously dislodge everyone. But you see Kenryu and his 5-year-old body just thrash left, right, left, right, left, right against the side of this very narrow cavern as you head down. But he manages to hold on.
I'm also going to quicken spell another Nether's Mischief, except for I'm aiming down here.
Okay, so the one to the south. Okay, roll for your mischief.
Okay, let's see what they get to roll. The dice sitting on it. Okay, there we go. Oh no. It's not a save, but drops of molasses hover in the area, basically, and it makes it difficult terrain.
Okay. What's the area of it?
It was like over here. Just so that I could get him in it. But,
Okay.
yeah. It does go away, but, you know, beware of the molasses.
So there's molasses just dripping. We'll say like that. I think
Oh,
that was a bit
God.
bigger than you said. But yeah, so
Yeah.
molasses dripping down and sticky terrain. Okay, nice. All right. I love that spell. Awesome. So, you've charmed it. You haven't really done any damage to it. So it's going to continue to wail on Judas. First tentacle, Judas. At advantage. It rolls a 22, which I believe will hit as a tentacle. Why isn't it? Oh, there we go. Oh, yeah, 16 piercing, reduced to 8. and make me an athletics check. Once again, you just fail to get embraced by this tentacle. Second one will hit as well with a 26. Take 15 points of damage, reduced to 7. And another athletics check. Oh man, that definitely gets the sound. Yeah, you are restrained, as opposed to grapple. So well, I guess it doesn't technically matter, but attacks against you have advantage now. And that was a second attack, and its third tentacle is actually going to go for Eris. Flips back around you, shoots a tentacle back, rolls an 18.
No, misses.
Misses. So just a swing and a miss. Okay. Soren.
Yeah. He'll ask Rafe if he wants him to keep it here or kind of shoo it away for a bit.
I mean, I'm okay to fight it and try to kill it. I don't want to just.
Okay. Then I will.
I don't
And
know
shoot
where-
away and come right back, right?
Yeah. we
Yeah,
have
but
to
you
go
get
down
an
there.
attack on it for free.
Oh, yeah, I can give it action if you want to.
I'll dissonant whispers it then and make it. If it fails, then it runs away.
It's a DC 17 Wisdom save.
I don't know how wise these are.
So if it wasn't spooky enough already, you start hearing the this nasty, weird language screaming into this creature's thing, and it shakes its head. And it will take 9 points of damage, and it uses its reaction to get away from you.
Yeah.
So I'll
Okay.
take a reaction to just swipe at it.
Okay. As it flies south, gets caught up in molasses, tries to get through, and it doesn't. It gets a little bit far because it's difficult terrain. But yeah, a swing and a miss from Rafe. Just misses. But it did take the 9 points of damage. Okay, Kinryu will cast Chill Touch again. And he rolls... Oh, a 19. So that will hit. He'll go for the one to the south. His ghostly hand reaches out, wraps around the heart of this creature, and does... Oh, damage. Does 2d8 damage. He rolls... an 8. Okay. This one to the south, it just runs away, heads forward a little bit. Actually, it's getting a bit close. It's gonna stay. Come back here. It's gonna stay where it was and reach out these 20-foot tentacles towards Rafe. Yeah, 20-foot tentacles.
Oh my god, I didn't know that. I failed you, Rafe. I'm sorry.
First one was a 13.
Nope.
Second one was a 20. Oh, and the third one is a natural 20 for a 28. So take...
28.
Yep, so take 32 points of damage.
I didn't feel good.
Make me a concentration check for your Shield of Faith. DC 16. Okay, so you maintain concentration on that. And now make me an athletics or acrobatics check. So the tentacles go, you take a lot of damage, you feel these spikes digging into you, but you kind of grab a hold of the tentacle and rip it off yourself. It doesn't kick in. Judas, however, you've still got this tentacle wrapped around you, and you feel it's trying to suck the blood out of you. Make a Constitution saving throw, Judas. Yeah, you feel those cardio workouts you're doing are really paying off, and you don't take any additional damage. Udas, you are still restrained though.
Yeah, but I am going to just lay into him. So
Oh,
straight rolls.
hit 5 attacks hasted?
4, I believe, right?
I think it's we get 2 normally. Then doesn't the haste give you 1 extra on top of that?
Yeah.
So it's 3 attacks.
Yep.
Okay, but regardless, those first 3 hit as you hack into it. Some nice rolls. So roll damage for those 3. Then we'll add 6 onto them. So 36. We have to get the calculator out for barbarian damage. You know you've got a problem. So 56, right? Oof. Yeah. So despite being restrained, despite feeling your blood trying to be sucked out, you unleash on this creature and just hack into it once. Ugh. Twice. Ugh. 3 times. And yeah, the creature turns to giblets and just falls gore on top of you, on top of Kenryu, on top of Soren, on top of Rafe, as you destroy the creature with your wild hacks. Well done, Udas. Okay, Rafe.
It did a lot of damage. To
All right, so I'm gonna
Yeah.
go ahead and continue into attack in a difficult terrain, right? But I should have plenty of movements. That should be fine.
Okay.
Okay. All right. Bonus action. Gonna use second wind. Cause
Okay.
ouch. Somewhere I got a D10. Plus 2. There we go. 12 bucks.
Okay.
And
So what was the 10?
yeah.
I was momentarily distracted just looking up.
it's second wind. Second wind.
Oh, second wind. Okay, nice.
Yeah. All right, and then we're gonna swing twice. Start with.
Okay. That hits.
All right, and we're gonna, cause he hurt. I'm gonna try to get rid of this guy. So we'll see. I'm gonna go ahead and do a smite on the first one.
Okay, so it's
This is
13
a-
so far.
It's like a level. Yeah.
13.
This
See
is a level smite.
if you can roll a bit better this time.
Yeah, 12.
That's not bad.
And
Okay.
then we're gonna action surge.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, 2 more times. That was too good. Yeah.
Okay, that one hits.
I'm gonna throw 2
Well,
more
that's-
smites on that.
All right. So 16 so far.
You said that hurt me.
Okay, then with your smite on top of that,
Great
another
rolls there. But yep, that's it.
15 damage. Nice. Okay, you and Udas are just going gangbusters on these things. As you just go nuts. Action surge, the healing thing. Creature's still standing though. It's looking pretty rough.
Alright.
Eris.
From where I'm at, I still can hit with 120 feet. I can definitely hit with that. I'm gonna cast a 3rd level magic missile, so I'm just gonna roll that
Nice.
in the chat here.
Sure.
That's 5d4 plus 5.
Yep.
Oh,
Mag-
okay.
Yeah, so magic missiles come just douche, 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 thuck into the hide of this creature. And yeah, another 16 points of damage. Still hanging on.
I'm
Okay.
helping! I'm helping! That's my turn.
Just a question. I think I might have got the order of these creatures. Because this one had a turn, right? But this one didn't? I feel I did them backwards because Udas got attacked, but Rafe didn't get attacked.
Yeah, I got
Well-
attacked a minute ago.
Yeah, 12 was the north.
12
Yeah.
was the north. Okay. Well, if it was a DM's mistake, then a DM's mistake it is. So that creature will not get a turn. Soren.
I will magic missile also.
Ooh, nice. What level?
That's second level.
So 44 plus 4. Okay. Your magic missiles fly, slam into the creature. It's barely hanging on, but not quite.
No.
Oh no, so it's barely hanging on, and not quite dead, is what I was trying to say. Kenryu will cast his Chill Touch. Oh my goodness, he rolls a natural 20.
Yes.
So Chill Touch goes and greets the heart. Kenryu gives a little squeeze, and the creature turns into giblets and just falls to the ground down below.
Yay.
Okay, and with that, the immediate danger is over. What do you guys do?
You just gonna lay hands on myself.
Go through some molasses.
The molasses lasts a round. Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh.
it does go away.
Ooh.
I will cast a third level Cure Wounds on Udas though, just to get him up
Okay.
better.
Cure Wounds cast.
There you go, bud.
How are you doing, Udas?
He died.
Justice.
It was tragic.
It's he was punched in the mouth. Can't talk.
You didn't see his corpse go flying past you.
I
As he fell.
was muted, yes. Yeah, you know, that thing hurt me. That helped.
Yeah,
Very eloquent.
Yeah.
I'm heavily bruised as well. So all right, let's. And I'm pretty tapped. I took a lot out of me to get rid of that thing. All right.
Have you used a first, second, and third level spell?
Who are you asking? Sorry.
You, Eris.
I've used 2 thirds and 2 seconds. I have all my firsts. Or no, I have one of I used one of my first. So
Oh, you
yes
did.
to your
Okay. Then I will do it. Okay, second. Can I get a second level? Cure wounds. I'll use bolstering magic. Get a second level spell back.
Nice. I would like to see that D3 dice you're rolling sometime, by the way. That'd be an interesting dice.
like a physical dice of it.
Yeah, physical dice. There is a one-sided dice you can get.
A coin.
That's
no,
two
the coin would be
That's
two-sided.
two sides, bud.
I know how you one sided.
It'd be like a
Just a
bowling
ball.
ball. Or not a bowling ball, a
Oh.
pool ball. A pool ball.
Maybe.
No, it's a Mobius strip, which looks like that.
Oh
Only
yeah,
has one
the
side.
Oh
infinite
god.
thing. Yeah.
By mathematical definitions, that has one side.
All right.
Okay,
so-
so healing
One-dimensional.
magics go up. You're feeling good. What would you like to do?
Turn around and go back.
Nah, we're committed.
No, I'm playing. All right. Yeah, let's move it. Keep forward. Let me stay in front though, Soren. That didn't work so well last time.
I mean, it worked fine for me. I only got
Okay.
hit once.
Well, that's because I took in front of you. But you mean you want to take a chance?
Eris, can you roll that healing word?
I mean, if you wanna go
Yeah,
first,
we'll
have
do
have
that.
at her, bud.
Yeah, I'll stay in front of you. I've got a little higher AC and a little. Right now, I'm probably not more HP, but
Eudas, you're
All right.
bringing up the rear?
Yep.
Okay, so I'll have
Seemed to work
Eudas
last
there, Eris there, Kenryu in the middle. I'll take it as that order. You
Yep.
continue going down the chains. Once again, time is weird. You're not entirely sure what's happening. At some points, you feel exhausted as if you possibly couldn't go one more step. You feel a surge of energy and you carry on. Then things get a little more consistent. And these words are getting louder and louder and louder, almost becoming deafening. And finally, after you don't know how long, you look down and you see a chamber opening in front of you. And you do not see much more than an orange glow coming from inside the chamber ahead of you. What do you do?
Eek. Guys, what do you guys want to do? Race a gambler, he's gonna go in, but
Well, you're in
I
front,
feel-
so
Yeah, I feel like sneaking isn't really gonna help here. I feel like we've probably made our presence known.
all right, then Rafe just goes in.
Ugh.
Rafe,
It's who he is. Yep.
can you make me a wisdom saving throw, please?
oh
Yep.
god.
Not good enough. As you walk into the room, you see a creature. I'll show you what creature you see. I made a little handout for this.
Oh boy.
Well, first of all, before I show you, can you take this much psychic damage, please? As this creature's eyes just whoop, lock on you, and you are just terrified by this vision. And let me get this handout. Whoops. Come here, handout. Why won't it let me show my handout? Let me just give Roll20 a quick refresh. And the rest of you will see Rafe kind of popping into the room. And as soon as he does it, you see his eyes look up and lock onto something. And then he can't seem to break away his gaze. And you see little trickles of blood coming out the side of his eyes and down the side of his ears. Whatever it wasn't very good. Rafe, this is what you see. That should give you perspective about how big this creature is. And yeah, you're just looking at it. And you hear the phrase that you've been hearing. I don't know if you speak in Abyssal or not, but it's the same phrase over and over again. And this thing is doing it.
No.
And you see it's connected with 5 chains. One of the chains is the one you've been following. And there's 4 other chains spreading out in other directions. 3 of them, actually 2 of them are very taut. They're like, you can tell it's holding the creature. 3 of them are not. The one you've come down looks relatively loose compared to the other ones. So there's 2 very taut chains and 3 very loose chains. And it comes forward and it kind of gets right up in your face, but the chains hold it back. And you can feel the heat and the anger and almost the hatred that permeates from this creature. What do you do?
Be a little. Well, I'm frightened. I can't do it. And it's chained up, so it's not get free, right? Do I see anything trying to free it?
Technically, you're not frightened. You took that horrible amount of psychic blast damage, but you're not frightened.
Okay. That's a big deal. Okay. What do I see then around anything trying to free it?
Make a perception
And-
check.
Because if not, you're gonna go back.
Yeah, you look around, and apart from these 5 chains, there's nothing much in this chamber. It's kind of dragging itself towards you, but the chains that are taut are holding it back at least.
He's gonna suggest a retreat. 'Cause we're not here to fight this thing. We're trying to make sure he doesn't get loose, right?
Yeah. But and I guess I'm just shouting from the doorway. We could probably, if the chains go somewhere else, we could just follow the chains.
Yeah, there's 5 chains, as I said. 2 of them are tight, and 3 of them are loose.
You want to loose but not broken. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, yep, they're definitely not broken.
So can we get to a loose chain without getting hit by this thing?
You're
Hit me
not
with psychic
sure,
damage, though.
but you can make me an intelligence check, Rafe.
Yeah, hit me with psychic damage without even. I mean, I'm not sure I can even get to anything.
Okay, number 1. After this initial blast of psychic damage goes through you feel, you've taken the worst of it. It does feel you're going to happen again. And you look around. Obviously, getting back the chain you came down on would be easy. And with the way the chains are holding this massive creature back, there are 2 choices you could make that you think relatively safely. There's a taut chain and a loose chain. You could choose either one of those. Start climbing up that one relatively easily.
So, my thinking, guys, would be the tight chain because those ones we don't want them to free those, right? The taut chain, the loose ones are already been loosened, or go with the loose chain to try to tighten them up, but we couldn't loosen them the one we're on. And we couldn't tighten them when we're on. We need dead people to do that.
Yeah, I am with the whole tight chain idea, because then at least we can like kind of barricade that spot and make it so they can't. At least there's one holding it in the meantime, right?
Yeah, defend it, barricade, whatever we have to do, or get protection. I mean, anything. That's what we're trying to defend. It will be that. We'll find out where the tight one is, and go all out to make sure that stays tight. And defend.
Yeah, I mean, more than likely they're going to be heading that direction anyways. If there's more cultists coming.
Mm-hmm. Judas, Zorn, anything else? Any ideas?
I got nothing.
Okay. Judas. Besides unmuting.
I'm not muted. I just don't think.
Just playing.
Yeah, let's just get to the next chain as quickly as possible.
All right. And Rafe will lead the way, holding his head to the tight chain, and we'll climb up that one.
Okay. Rafe, you hear the creature just saying the phrase in Abyssal, which you've heard your friends translate. The light must be stuffed, perfection decayed, order dissolved, and minds fragmente. Fragmente. And you dash across and start going up this very taut chain. Are the rest of you making a mad dash with the chain?
Yes.
Okay.
Can we like
Yep.
keep our heads down as we're running?
We're going for the taut chains or the
Tight ones.
loose
Yeah.
chain?
Yeah, the tight one.
The loose. I assume we just came out of a loose chain one.
Correct.
Yeah.
Correct.
So that means the other 2 that are loose are being more loosened, are getting more they're loosening them right now. We need to stop them.
I don't know if they're there right now. It's just that they're loose.
They already loosened them. We're thinking that we have to get to a tight one to defend those. That haven't been loosened already.
That means they're not there yet.
The thinking is that there's that kind of like a seal. If you got 3 seals, two of them, only have 2 left that are good. We're trying to protect the ones that are good. That was our.
Are the chains? Didn't we stop them, or is loose broken, or is broken broken? Do we know?
We don't know.
I mean, the loose ones are hanging limp. You have no idea whether they've been fully detached up the top, and the chain has just kind of fallen down into the pit somewhere and wrapped around a random cavern, or it might be attached to another crankshaft that is not being cranked anymore, or maybe some other reason.
Did we seem to stop this early or at the end? Did we ever figure that out?
I'm assuming we stopped it early because there was a lot more cultists there that they were, I'm assuming, going to sacrifice.
Yeah, the one you came down is kind of in the middle. It's not fully loose, it's not fully tight. Because you did crank it like 4 circles is how Rafe and Tana did it. So the one you came down, you tried to tighten up again and you kind of half did it. And then there's 2 fully taut, 2 fully loose. I think the point is Udas is making is they want them loose, right? So.
Well, no, I wasn't sure whether loose meant broken. Compared to ours, are the other 2 like? So ours is half taut. Like there's a difference between ours and.
Mm-hmm. Yep, yours is half taut. And so you want to have a closer look at the other loose ones and try to determine whether they're still attached or hanging loose somewhere.
No, I'm just going to agree with them. I agree. Let's go to the taut ones. Yeah.
The taut one? Okay. If you are all dashing across to get to the taut chain that Rafe is going up, you'll need to make me wisdom saving throws.
All of us?
Except
Even
Rafe,
avoiding eyesight as well?
Oh,
That's
if
what
you're
we're at,
avoiding eyesight, you can make your wisdom check at advantage.
I will do so.
Yeah. I'll put my hand up. Or sheet. Oh, God.
18, no. 16, no. 10, no. So let's just go through these from order from top to bottom. So this will be from Eris. Eris, take that much psychic damage. Siren, 24. Udas, 25.
I take half because I have psychic resistance.
Sure. Just confirm. Yes, that is psychic damage, so you take half of that. Oh, Kinryu. Kinryu will do the same. Wisdom at advantage. Oh my goodness, he rolls a 22. He takes 40 damage.
Oh my goodness.
Ah, I see what you're getting at here.
Yeah, so as you rush by, the creature snarls and just lets out this phrase again and again and again, and it pulls on the chains that are still holding it. And as I said, you have access to the tight one and the loose one. You could get to the other ones, but you feel that, according to Rafe, you're getting far too close to the creature and might end up just being eaten. But you push past and you will scramble up this very tight, taut chain. And you're out of sight of this huge creature. But you still hear, it's the only sound you hear once again. It's just this chant. It's deafening, apart from this phrase, this creature saying over and over and over again. But you're out of its sight. Also, you scramble up a good 100 feet up the chain. What do you do?
So we're gonna just gonna follow the chain up to the top, I guess.
Guys, we're gonna run into something on this chain or up there.
You
need
take a breather, like.
Yeah, to catch our breath.
Yeah, can we do that on the chain? Not like long rest. Just try to get it like a catch your breath a minute. Once we're out of sight. I agree with that.
If you can explain to me how you can rest while climbing a chain, I'll be all ears. So you can come up with a creative solution, maybe, but yeah. So how do you do it? You're literally climbing a chain.
Our magic users have something fun.
I mean, I could just tie a rope around myself and tie it to the chain for a minute, just to kind of lean up against the chain for a second and rest. You're like climb a mountain, and you're gonna tie yourself and kind of and hang it and rest a second, not sleeping, just to rest your arms and whatnot.
How wide is the?
Oh, actually, the chain twists. It's not only going up vertical. At some places it goes horizontal as well. So ignore what I said. You can just wait for a horizontal turn in the chain, and you may take a short rest. Short rest activated.
Ooh, I'm gonna use some sorcery points to get some spell slots back then.
Okay.
As we're going up this chain, could I get the help of Eudas, and occasionally I'm going to be setting down a python, and I need Eudas to just smash that python in to try to keep the chain in that position. I don't know if it'll help, but it'd be nice.
Okay, so every so often you're driving a python in to keep the chain in place.
Yeah.
Super. Okay, interesting. Just make me a general survival check, please, Eris. Okay, so you put the pythons in. How many pythons do you have?
I have 10.
10. So you like 50 feet apart, 20 feet apart?
Probably like every 50 or so feet, and then if it goes and switches from like a vertical to a horizontal, I'll basically like put it on one of the corners to keep it in that position there. Yeah.
Okay, so yeah, you go place these 10 pythons, and I assume Uldas doesn't have a problem bringing his massive maul thing down and smashes it down, and they lock into place. Interesting idea, Eris. We'll see how that pans out. So
not very well with the 7.
Yeah, so you continue climbing and climbing and climbing, and once again this weird time effect is happening. Conversations are delayed, sometimes for hours, as you continue the climb. Can I have everybody make me a Constitution saving throw, please? Eudas fine, Rafe fine, Eris not fine.
What was the con save for?
Exhaustion.
Oh, just because it's been hell long. Okay. I'm gonna use the sorcery points.
+4 on that.
Okay, sorcery points, Soren.
Yeah, to reroll that.
Okay, what were you saying? Sorry, Eudas?
It's a +3 on that. That wasn't a save. That was just a con check. So.
Oh, I see. Okay, you're still good. Yeah, 1 point of exhaustion, Soren, as you're just climbing up and up and up and up. So an exhaustion point to... not to Soren, sorry, to Eris.
Yeah.
The sorcery point saves you. And you continue up and up and up. Sounds like Eudas is a little nervous, keeping an eye out for some of these weird tentacle creatures. None appear, though. And after an indeterminate amount of time, you don't know how long you've been climbing. Could be minutes, could be hours, could be days. You don't know. Eventually, though, the chains, you see a bright kind of yellowish light coming. With your dark vision, you see something up ahead. It looks a little bit grainy, I can't give you the color because you see things in blacks and whites. There's no light there, but there's something definitely grainy there. Carry on up.
Unless you guys have a better idea.
Nope.
Push forward.
Yep.
Yeah.
Keep going. Yep. Keep going.
You
We're in the
Still
back. We're not going
all in the
backwards.
front. Yeah.
Yep.
You guys are in the front. Let's keep it moving, guys.
Still going forward. Yep.
So the backyard drivers say, "Get a move on!
Yeah.
Stop holding up traffic." So Rafe, leading from the front this time with Soren directly behind you, you enter what looks like another temple. This it looks like it's made from sandstone, like I don't know, imagine like it's similar to material to like the pyramids were made from. That's type of material. You see lots of writing on the side of this temple. It's similar things to what you've heard before. You hear the phrase that creature was saying. This is all written in Abyssal, so Soren and Eris can translate it. But you see phrases like this scratched all over the temple. Light must be stuffed, perfection decayed, order dissolved, and minds fragment. Offer light and life to its all-consuming maw, so that it may surpass all divinities and be freed. Uncover, restore, and exalt forgotten shrines and relics in its honor. Ruin and raise the realms to hasten the arrival of the epoch of ends. And much like the other temple, the chain does terminate in a crank thing to crank the chain. You see some bodies are lying around. There's a similar altar once again with this 5-chain star on it, so very similar in that regard. You do see some bodies around it. It's a little bit more disturbing than the other one, because these are children. Just from this distance, there's about 5 of them, ranging in age from like 10, 12, 14, so not super young, but still definitely children. And their bodies are piled up around the shrine. What do you do?
Like dead? Dead?
Well, very obviously dead, even from this distance.
Okay. The chains are taut. Is anything? Is nobody here trying to go to a crank again? Is that what it leads to?
Make a perception check. You look around, maybe looking for someone who's trying to crank this shaft or something. You look around and you don't see anybody apart from this. There's about 5. There's 5 children's bodies. You don't see anybody, who actively is doing anything. Yep, there you don't. Nobody's there.
How old, yeah. How old are the bodies?
They're all over 10 at a guess, and the oldest one is 14, 10 to 14. That's the age range.
I mean, how long dead have they been?
You can make a medicine check.
Okay.
Yeah, that's how I feel sometimes.
Oh gosh.
Aw.
Yeah.
You may help me.
You're pretty certain that one of them's dead. You're not quite sure. You think it might start moving again. You see some involuntary twitch, convinced that it's alive. And the other ones, you figure maybe 1,000 years, 2,000 years. You're not sure.
Wonderful. What's that?
That's a long time they've been dead.
Yeah. Okay. No danger. Dead body of kids, which is just great.
I think that's the opposite of great.
Yeah,
How is
sarcasm.
that in the no danger category? But
Well,
okay.
we don't see anybody here. We don't see any threat at that point, right? Nobody's trying to do anything. Nobody's trying to crank a chain. Nobody's here trying to kill anything right now. Guys, ideas. Those I'm going to try to find. So make sure there's not. I mean, I can try to see if there's any tracks around the dead bodies. Look, lead anywhere.
Tracks would be good, probably.
Yeah, make a survival check, Rafe.
Oh, checks. All right.
You do see tracks leading upwards from where you are. There's tracks that are large size, like they look like boots. So it's some type of humanoid. I mean, it could be an elf, could be a half elf, could be a human, could be a tiefling, but definitely wearing boots. And beside that, a much smaller set of boot prints.
Smaller, so like
Yeah.
kid size.
Yes.
Okay. And they lead out.
Yep, they lead up from where you are.
Okay, guys, you want to follow the tracks? I guess.
Yeah.
We went great last time, and there's another door we can try.
Yep. Definitely stick our whole hand in that door
Horn
again.
has a whole other hand to use.
Yeah, there we go.
No.
Okay, you start climbing up. Eris, as you pass these bodies, 3 of them are, despite Rafe's fantastic medicine check, 3 of them are either well dead or completely just disfigured beyond any type of recognition. But you look down and you glance and you take a closer look and your heart skips a beat. You recognize one of these persons. It's someone you know called Ren Darren. And there's another person you recognized. Her name is just Seely. You don't remember ever actually finding out what her name was. You looked, you tried to find her parents, you didn't, and you accepted her into the orphanage. You never did find out what her last name was.
Eris kind of stops midway through her walk cycle, like foot still in the air, before her face just kind of it's like a mixture of just anguish and sadness and anger. I will go over to the bodies and with whatever extra like pieces of fabric that I have, I'll cover their faces with it.
Easy enough, yeah.
And yeah, I'm like, she is absolutely fucking pissed at the moment. She will actually kind of go forward. She'll pass Rafe if she needs to. And we'll just start marching her way up after the tracks that he's pointed out.
Okay, so cover their face. Start storming past us, Rafe. And Rafe, she's outpacing you. And Eris, you come to almost on the roof of this thing. There's a little ladder beside it, and it looks like a stone kind of slab right above you. And I think with your height, you could probably almost reach up and touch it. These are relatively low 5-foot ceilings.
Jeez. And the tracks continue this direction?
That they stop at the base of the ladder, so presuming they went up the ladder or came down the ladder, I should say.
Does it seem to be a relatively tall ladder, or is it like
Uh,
looking up?
It's at a bit of an angle. It's almost across a passageway. So, but with your height, you could presumably move the slab. You can really touch the slab, or use the ladder. Up to you.
I'll just use the ladder. Most direct route that I can see.
Okay, so you get to the top of the ladder. The stone slab is still in place. Do you try and kind of use your shoulders and push it out the way?
I will actually pull back one of my fists and just begin punching the shit out of it.
Okay, so you start punching the shit out of it. Make me some attack rolls with your armored gauntlets at advantage, because you're not quite in your right mind at the moment. So you punch, and you punch, and you punch again, furiously hammering into this. Takes about 6 or so blows, but eventually you crack through it, and the last of it, you put a big crack down the center, and the whole thing sags, and sand starts pouring through into this room, kind of going into your hair and down your body, and you kind of have to close your eyes because otherwise you get sand on it. But then the whole trapdoor, I guess, collapses forwards inward, and you look upstairs and you see other areas of this temple. Still in darkness. It's only your dark vision that's working at the moment, Eris. Nothing. No natural light.
Okay. Kind of popping up as much as I can. Can I see any? I guess footprints wouldn't really work if this is sand.
No.
Would it?
Well, sand is actually aiding you. You notice
Okay.
there's no wind to speak of in here. So if you it's like the footprints on the moon. The footprints on the moon is going to be there for thousands of years because there's no wind to move them around. Same thing here, no wind. But you look around, and those symbols and messages you saw are no longer there. All these, light must be stuff, perfection, decay, that type of stuff. It's not there. And it appears just to be a temple, long forgotten temple. Actually, make a religion check, Eris. Religion check.
Nope.
You're not sure. It's definitely not the chained oblivion messages that you got before.
Either way, they didn't help, so it doesn't matter. I will continue following the tracks. I'm
Okay.
not even looking to see if you guys are behind me. I'm just assuming you are.
Yeah, Ray's close. He does get upset and just kind of watching you back, basically.
Okay. Udas, Saren, same sort of thing?
Yep, I'm just following the fuming Eris.
Okay. So, Eris, you're fuming. Eventually you find a way out of the temple. You find yourself kind of in a desert of sorts. I will say that both Eris and Soren recognize where you are. And you look around, and without missing a beat, you realize where you are. You've gotten all the way back to Arbor Island, and you're into like this desert area just to the north of Amber Barrow. And in case you guys don't remember the geography here, this is where you were. Actually, you're up here. And somehow... Oh, that's not big enough. Where's my big map? This map. Sorry. So you were, right here where this thing is. Yeah, and you've traveled that many miles to get there. Normally that would take you 20 odd days to travel 400 odd miles. But as I said, time was really weird. You're not sure how long. What you do know for sure is that you're definitely on Arbor Island, in this deserted area, somewhere about here. What do? About 3 miles away from Amber Barrow proper.
But did the tracks lead in that direction as well?
Make a survival check, Eris.
Maybe help her out.
Okay. Actually, just make a straight survival check, even with the help from Udas. You're not.
That was
quite
Rafe, but
thinking
yeah.
Oh, sorry, Rafe. You don't see the tracks anymore. You do notice, of course, that the wind is howling now. So any tracks probably been obliterated by the desert winds.
And nothing would be within sight. Okay. I'm gonna turn around and tell the group to kind of stay there, and I'm gonna go back down the hole.
Okay.
I'm going to wrap up the children's bodies, and if I can fit them in my bag, as terrible as that sounds, I would like to try to. If not, then I'll just carry their corpses up through the top of the hole here.
Okay. Now there are
Ricky.
5 corpses here. 2 of
Yeah.
them you recognize. 3 of them you don't know. They might be somebody you know, but they're just so disfigured you're not sure.
Yeah.
Do you take those ones as
And-
well?
Yes.
Yeah, and Rafe didn't let you go by yourself. We saw he followed you back down, and when you saw you,
Yeah.
he'll help you out.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you're trying to put them in your bag of holding?
If I can fit them. I mean, they're kind of small. They're children. As terrible as that
Um, I have an 8-year-old son, or 10 years old actually now. He's quite a bit taller than my wife. He's going to be like over 7 foot. He's that tall.
Wow.
When he was in grade 3 at his school, he was the tallest kid in the school, even though it goes up to grade 5.
My goodness.
Mind you, some of these bodies are tall, but I will say they're all skinny.
If I can fit them in the bag, I will try. If not, then yeah, I'll start
Well, we can also
bringing them up.
wrap them up as you can, and
What-
use
What's the,
hand.
what's the width of a bag of holding? Like, how big is the opening? I don't know.
I can tell you I can fit a hell of a lot in my purse in real life, but
You
but
fit
the
a
bag
small
looks
child
pretty
in there.
big. Like, so
2
like
feet in
this,
diameter,
They have
4 feet deep.
2 feet diameter?
2 feet in diameter, what it says.
yeah, because it looks pretty big.
I'm going to say you can. You can
pretty
put
big,
them in. How do you put them in?
That's huge.
I will like lay the bag down and gently like scooch their bodies in it, like as if it was like a morgue, sort of pulling out or putting in.
Okay.
Just so that I am not like putting them in vertically like a weirdo. I don't know. I feel like that's just wrong. The visualization of that.
Okay, so the most respectful way you can think of, you place the 5 bodies. As I said, the boy, Ren Darren, you recognise. Seely, don't know what her last name was. She came to the orphanage when she was pretty young. You just don't know what her family name might be. And these 3 unidentifiable ones, but definitely in the same age range as Ren and Seely. And they're all in the bag of holding.
Okay. I'll turn to Rafe because he's the one who came down here with me to help out. Amber Barrow isn't far. If we can get there, we can stock up at least some stuff to kind of help out with our situation here. I don't know where this guy or where this person went. I can't track them. I'm not very good at tracking them. I'm only good at like punching them if I see them. Um, but I do know if we can get to Amberboro, at the very least we can lay the children to rest. I need to figure out
Do,
kind of how they even got here.
do you know
Yeah.
them? Do you,
Yes, I do.
Are we?
Or I
do you know,
did.
do you know their families? Sure.
Um,
So we should be trying to find a inform.
No, you
I-
don't. Don't.
I- So the funny thing about orphanages is that generally speaking, you don't know the family. But I'll let that slide because I don't think that you know that.
No.
They're orphans. They're from the orphanage that I sort of help run, sort of just to help fund half of the time. I'm not very good at actually helping. I'm just good at making money half the time. But either way, they are supposed to be at the orphanage, not 40 feet deep in a hole in the desert, sacrificed to some fuckwit down there.
Okay. So where in the city do you want to take them?
I guess I would like to stop by the orphanage quick, but I do have some ideas on how we can help with this whole like winch chain scenario. But that'll take it won't. I don't think it'll take that much time to actually prepare and stuff. But I have a feeling that the longer that we spend there, the worse that this situation's gonna get. So we need to get there quick, drop these things off, grab some stuff, and then run back so we can actually kill whatever the hell this thing is, or not kill
I
it,
don't
but
think
at
we're
least.
killing that thing. So here's the I've been thinking about that. They're trying to free this thing. Are we? How are we stopping them? We can just sit here and wait till they come. Go ahead.
You want to know my plan? A fuck ton of brick and cement and whatever we can get our hands on that we can melt into these winches. Anything that we can get to clog up these holes. Anything at this point. I feel like that would at least somewhat help. I don't even know if we could find any sort of information on how to tighten these things back up. I don't really know.
You think it's
But
really gonna stop these things? I'm starting to remember the story of all this from that the guy who likes Soren so much. I'm just not sure that those things are going to stop them.
I can tell you at the very least it's gonna slow them down.
Yeah.
If we cement slash brick up whatever is in the winches, if we get that stuff in there, I can tell you that it's not gonna move. Or at least it's not gonna move well. Just in the winch contraptions themselves, and it seems to me that the infernal iron's gonna be one hell of a bitch to break because we couldn't do it. So.
Yeah.
And obviously, if it was that easy, they would have done that. But they didn't. So I have a feeling that they can't actually break it. They're just trying to loosen it so that he or whatever the heck that is down there can break it.
Yeah, I'm game for trying to slow them down. And so Trick says I don't know who. I mean, there's two chains that were good, right? So they're going to try to go to get those two chains and free this thing. And we can't sit here the rest of our lives waiting for them to come to this chain, right?
Yeah.
Um,
Well, and if we cement it or brick it up
Yeah.
or just dump clay down it, it'll start solidifying and it'll slow them down when they do go do it.
Yeah, but then we gotta find them and kill them, right?
Oh, we're killing them.
I mean,
That isn't a question.
are we killing? Okay, so that's kind of where I'm going to. So, what are we killing? Who and then how? So, are we trying to that thing down there? Are we trying to send it back to where it came from?
I have a feeling that if that was an option, it wouldn't be down there in the first place.
Something I will mention that you would have noticed when you're up top side, you notice a group of about 20 or so people kind of loosely traveling together, coming from kind of they're coming like through kind of this direction, and they look haggard, they look tired, they look exhausted.
Okay.
And I will say you talk to them quickly. They say they're all travelling to Silverdale because Little Glen has fallen to the enemy. Now, there's contradicting reports from the people that you talk to. Some of them say that it was very obviously the Wanderman Assembly. They were in garb of the Wanderman Assembly. It caught the town of Little Glen by complete surprise. Like, because, this place is under war conditions, there's ships all around here performing naval blockades, but it caught Little Glen completely and utterly surprised. Conflicting reports from these, obviously, refugees. Some say this was a Dwendalian attack, and some people say, they wore the garb of Dwendalian Empire, but they didn't talk about, sorry, not Dwendalian, wrong conflict, sorry. They talk about the Wanderman Assembly, saying they didn't act like Wanderman Assembly. They were vicious. I mean, they were just nasty. Like, there's war nasty and then there's nasty. These guys were just over the top evil. And they said, well, that's the Wanderman Assembly for sure. And I don't know if that was. So there's conflicting reports. They were definitely wearing Wanderman Assembly garb. Some people are convinced they were Wanderman Assembly. Some believe are convinced it was something else again, though they can't quite put their finger on what it is. So let that bear into your decisions as well. Well, that is relevant.
Yeah. So now we've got. That's come back to the thing of how we doing this and who we trying to kill and can we to kill them. Because we have is it basically an army coming? Then we think that just wiped out Little Glen.
The refugees saying that they're kind of taking up base almost in Little Glen. They didn't look like they were heading off to Amber Barrow or Wenlona. So it just seems to be focused on Little Glen at the moment.
Were any of you there at Little Glen when this happened?
Oh,
I'm assuming you're refugees, yeah?
Yeah,
Okay,
I was there.
I'm gonna draw out. I actually can use my my magical tinkering to basically exactly replicate the symbol that was down there, like the little star and stuff like that. All the symbols that we've seen the cultists use.
Uh-huh.
I'm going to show them it and ask if anybody was wearing anything or marked with anything that looked like any of these.
They say no. They were all wearing like what do you call it? It's almost like a vest over their armor. I can't remember what you call it, but you like wear chainmail and you wear this cloth shirt type of thing over top of it. They all had this cloth shirt on. Wish I knew the proper name, and it all more bore the marks of the Dwendalian from their Wanderman Assembly. So
were any of them bald?
Oh yeah, miss, yeah, most of them were bald.
Yeah.
Okay.
Bald.
Yeah.
So this is starting to feel way beyond what how many are there of us now? There's 6 of us. 6 of us can do. If we have an item we have to get, if we have one small group to take out, we can raid and do that. But this is starting to feel like we need more.
Do we have the capability of getting messages out anywhere? I mean, I know some people in Amberborough, but I don't know how efficient they would be in getting any messages anywhere. Who would we even call for help?
I can't call for help, but I might know where I can try to get an army. So,
Yeah?
I haven't really been totally upfront with you guys. Do you guys remember the wanted prince that was being sought by um, King Cyrus? Well, King
Um,
Cyrus is the second name was my brother. I'm the one they're after, and I spent most of my life training those soldiers and guards. If we can get to him, my brother's not reasonable. He's not one that I could even talk to. But if we can get to someone inside the command of the guards, we might be able to get some help from them. This whole thing is feeling like I don't know that 6 of us can handle it alone.
would you even be able to convince them at all? I mean, it's not even according to them. It's not even. This isn't even their territory.
I mean, the Brotherhood of Soldiers just runs deep. Okay, I command them for a long time. I trained them for a long time. We fought together for a long time. The men themselves, I have complete faith in. The Cyrus is a prick. Um, I don't have any faith that I can convince him to do anything. In fact, I walk in the door, I'm probably dead. Um, I actually haven't told you guys because you guys are pretty obsessed with money and the size of a reward for my head.
A reward. Soren
Yeah.
brings out his manacles.
Right.
no, I understand that. I mean, what we could do is see, like I don't know if it's some sort of magic teleporty business that just happened down there, but I know for hell that we weren't even close to Amberbaro when we went down that hole. We could try another hole, see if we can pop up closer to, um, I can't even remember what it's called off the top of my head, but the other main island there. There's got to be at least one of them, probably.
There's so there's two options. This is the hard part. I don't know what the options should be. So my mother, Ashland, recently killed her. Her father is the other side. In fact, the peace between the two of them was largely because of my mother and father's marriage. I don't know how to bridge that gap, but there's two sides there. One of the two sides we can approach. I have no connections at all to my mother's people. That's why Soren, I was so curious about your people early on. I have no connections at all on that side.
I see.
But I don't know what the method would be.
Say we
I-
turn you in for the reward and
You
then murder your brother when
No,
you accept it.
your brother's a prick. I don't know that.
Will your
I mean-
men follow? If your men turn on your brother, isn't he going to order them to kill you?
He would. I don't know what they would do. They helped me escape when when the word first came. He was trying to set me up. They helped me get out. This is long before I met Charity or anything. I spent several years after that, mercenary camps and various forms of debauchery of drinking and everything I could do. I lost complete faith of anything, to be honest, until I met Charity. But it could be that if I asked them, at the time I didn't ask them to do anything. I just I didn't know what to do, to be honest. My life has always been them, and so I just got out. But what the hell, right? What's the worst I could do?
Where would the king be, or the the leader of the island that we are on currently be? Because I'm assuming on the other side it's Clifton. On Rookva Island, it's probably Clifton that
Yep.
the king is, right?
Yep.
Okay,
Okay. Well, let's just take you back to Arbor Island. Arbor Island doesn't have one ruler. It has
Right.
5 rulers. There's a council of 5. One of them is an open lord, who everybody knows about. The other 4 ones you don't know. So they kind of meet with 4 of the 5 disguised, but the one is open. But they're definitely a Silverdale thing, is where you'd find the leaders.
So what are you suggesting, guys?
Well, we need to go to Arborborough immediately anyways. I'm not walking around with
Sure.
children's corpses in my bag. For lack of a better word. I also need we need to figure out how they even got down there. I don't understand. They're supposed to be in the orphanage.
Yeah. In the meantime, we're doing that. We had this army cultist, a little group. I'm assuming are trying to find where we just came from. They're trying to free this demon thing, right?
Yes. I mean, they would have popped up. It was 2 people we were tracking, right? It was a larger
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Do you think they would have gone to Amber Barrow? I mean, we can search there and ask, but we won't ask. We're asking for 2 people. We're gonna ask for a large person and a small person, or we can see if any cultists are there, any bald people are there.
You know what? Here. Wait a minute, and I'm gonna run back downstairs again, down the hole. I'm going to go. I'm assuming in the room where the corpses were, there's probably like, I'm assuming boot marks in blood or in dust. Correct?
Yep. Sure. Yep.
Can I use my magical tinkering ability because I can make like I can make a visual effects appear on object surfaces? I'm going to take out a couple of pieces of paper and I'm going to basically match like exactly what the boot prints look like, so I can get
Okay.
the exact size and the exact prints of the larger pair of boots as well as the smaller pair of boots.
Okay. I think you can do that easily enough. You kind of go around and almost take an average of them, and you notice like little cuts in the boot, you know, little imperfections of the boot, and you take a very, very good boot print of it. So, yep, good detective work. You have a very good replication of this boot print at least.
Perfect. And I'll bring it up and I will show it to Rafe, Eudes, and Soren. And I'm not very good at tracking things, but I can obviously make little replicas like this. If you can keep your eyes out for these specific areas, and I will point out like the little cuts and stuff like that in the boot prints.
Take a
And
moment
exactly
and
like
you
this
look.
size.
It's a perfect match on Rafe.
Oh shit, is it
I'm
really?
kidding. It's not a perfect match on
That'd be
Rafe.
That'd be
hilarious.
hilarious.
One too
What?
many plot twists.
But yeah, and then yeah, Eris's idea is to go to Amberbaro with haste.
All right.
Okay. So, but since it's only 3 miles away, you push through the desert. We'll get to, and you go into Amber Barrow, and we'll explain it more next week. But you do make it to the Greenfields Orphanage, and I will say a couple of things just as a teaser for next week. One, I know you've been sending money there to Eris. There, a lot more than you've managed to raise in your previous life. You notice no significant improvements in the orphanage itself. If anything, it's gotten worse. And we'll leave it on that slight twist for next week. But yeah, you've learnt that Rafe is not in fact Rafe. He's Fowlin McAllister, brother of King Cyrus McAllister II, you know that Fowlin McAllister was blamed for the murder of his mother. He was blamed for an attempted assassination on the king, which is why the reward for him is, I think he got up to 50,000 gold pieces. Imagine Udas raises a slight eyebrow.
Which is why he is not setting anything around you guys.
So, but yeah, so Fowlin, as he said, did lead the military. Yeah, it's almost like a parallel to the Gladiator story, right? The whatever his name was got ousted and framed and blamed, but he had the back of his men effectively. So we'll see what happens. So next week, sounds like you want to check out what's happening in Amber Barrow. And then what are you guys going to want to do? Because there's a whole continent to explore. I'm not sure what you want to do next. DM does not want to prepare the whole world for next week. What do you guys want to do next week?
The good news is we don't have a ship, so you have that to worry about.
Oh,
Our
you don't have a
ship's way over there.
Yeah, it's true.
I know Eris wants to try to seal up that that winch system.
Okay.
So that's kind of her idea. I do like the idea of going to speak to the people in Silverdale if Rafe / Fowlin can kind of figure out how he wants to talk to them.
Yeah, I don't know.
I'm assuming also, I don't know if Soren actually cared much about Little Glen after his dad died, / became a brain. But if we wanted to, we could also go there and I guess like counter force attack if we can get the people from Silverdale to follow.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, we need time to talk and plan. I don't know, and I think the U.S.'s plan was to pull the Wookiee plan, right? Handcuff the Wookiee.
Yeah, back in Clifton, right?
Mm-hmm.
Well, that was a plan. So it sounds as if I'm gonna go to Amber Barrow, sort out whatever you want to sort out in Amber Barrow, particularly Eris. Try and get the Council of Five to listen to reason, because they definitely know they're at war with the Wanderman Assembly, but who knows? And maybe if you can find a way to get to Clifton.
Yeah, we need to teleport help.
Okay, so a way to get to Clifton, Amber Barrow, Silverdale, try and convince it. Maybe Fowlin revealing who he really is, maybe not. But we'll take it from there. Dum dum dum.
Dun, dun, dun.
Okay.
All right,
Interesting
cool stuff.
session, guys.
Yeah, didn't expect it to go out there.
Lots of twists. Okay, that was fun. I will see you guys next week.
Yeah.
Take care.
Thanks, man.